Welcome back, everyone. It's time to get to work, as Andreas says here. Last night we returned home after having dinner with the Baron. Aww. With the Baron and the Abbot of the monastery. Shh, it's all right. That's another, yeah. Good morning. Can you help Ursula? No, a little crying won't hurt her. Besides, I think we've gotten almost all the leaks. Ursula's my first child, and she's been a handful, but I think I have the hang of it now. Big George has been a godsend. He helped Christine with Evo, and she was a baby. Oh, Big George takes care of babies. I never took you for a family man, Andreas. I have two older brothers, both married, so there are plenty of nieces and nephews for me to play uncle to. I appreciate the offer. You'll make a fine husband someday, Andreas. Ugh, when will this storm let up? It's been going all morning. Peter and George are outside trying to deal with the flooding as best they can. Is the farm in danger? There's always a danger with this much rain, but we've lived through worse. Whatever happens, it will be as God wills it. We must have faith in Providence and ensure what is to come. I love leaving the space and then going back to fill it in with the red. Oh, I have some food for you. That's historical in manuscripts. They would do that in manuscripts. They'd leave a space as they were writing, and then they'd grab the red pigment, which is made with, like, nasty stuff, and they'd put the red pigment in where God was, or something like that. Sorry, I couldn't prepare anything. Oh, he did? Haha. Good. Thank you. Have a good day at the Abbey, Andreas. Try to stay dry. Thanks, you too. Good luck. Be good, Ursula. Oh, he's so nice to little Ursula. Andreas. Aww. Andreas. Doing alright, Peter? No, I'm not. Some of our sheep escaped, and I'd rather not spend my morning fixing this damned wall for the third time this year. This is the way it always is. Rain falls on the Abbey and rolls downhill to us little people. Oh, there's some imagery, some metaphors going on here. Well, it's hard to blame the Abbey for that. That's just how rain works. There's a reason we're down here and they're up there, Andreas. Anyway, I have to get back to this. See you later. Stolen me. Can I help them somehow? Is there anything I can do? No. I'm an artist after all. Artist. Endris! Hey, Andreas. Good morning, Endris. So, Otto and Eva, huh? Yes? What about them? How's their courtship developing? I'm not a gossip, Andreas. Do not ask this to pour water onto a rumor mill, but for the concern I have for the happiness of my friends. Of course, Andreas. Fancy talk for being nosy. Well, if you ask me, I think Otto's being a bit too slow about it. Oh? He's old enough already not to be smitten like a boy. Ooh. They both like each other, seems to me. If you found the right person, you should just go for it. It's what I would do. Where's Mistress Smithson? Oh, that's a private matter. I haven't intended. Sabine waiting for me in Nuremberg. We're to marry once I finished my wandering. I'm not even sure if she is the right one, but it is a necessary step. It's not good for the soul to be alone, Andreas. I do hope to find someone to have at my side as we build a family. God has not quite given me this blessing. And worry not, it may happen. I must get back to work, Andreas. Enough talk. Until later. It's wet as heck out here, chat. We don't need to go to Central Town, I don't think, right now. Oh, yeah, we do. Blocked by the water. Oh, the Albans. Ulrich and, I forget her name. Ulrich, gotta be with you, Andreas. Seems like we have a good spring storm, though I hope it lets up soon. As God wills it. Ulrich, I paid Gret for last week's pumpernickel. Sorry to make you wait for it. Gret. It's no trouble at all. Please say hello to Lucky for me. Lucky. I think we've met Lucky. Of course. Now I'm off to home, and then to the Pfeiffers. What's going on at the Pfeiffers? Good morning, Agnes. What's going on at the Pfeiffers? Helena has about a month to go before her child is due. Oh, Helena. Her last one was hard. He didn't make it. God rest his soul. I just want to give her the best chance she can have. Oh. It is in God's hands. Trust in Providence. Always, Ulrich, but I'll do what I can to help. Why wake the Lord to do all the work? I must be off now. Interesting, interesting. Good day to you both, and Andreas, stay out of the rain. Tell Helena I will pray for her health. Oh, Helena, I hope Helena's okay. She will appreciate that, Andreas. Thank you. Until later. Until later, Agnes. How you doing, Alban? Ulrich Alban? God bless you, Andreas. He's very religious. Oh. Hey, Anna. Ah, the kids are so cute in this. Andreas, such a pleasure to see you. And looking so handsome, as always. Gret's flirting with me, chat. Back for more of my rye. Oh my. Dear Gret, you know I can't stay away from your rye. Stay away from your rye. I'm gonna flirt with her. Andreas. I was passing by, I thought I should say hi. Hello. Now I must say goodbye. Aren't you a good man? Well, you're always welcome here, Andreas. And always welcome to my rye. Be well. Until later, Gret. Damn! Ahem, alright. That sure did happen. Steinauer house. We didn't get to go in here earlier. And there's nothing to do here. Okay. Okay. I like that we get to sort of see the lifestyle. Schlau! Hey, Schlau. I love petting the kitty cats. Oh. I haven't been up this way, I don't think. There's chickens. Or ruins? I wonder if they're from the old Roman colony. Interesting. And the Stoltz. And what's these? Tassin is lucky to have such woundwork naturally growing. I had to buy it back in Nuremberg. Interesting. Alright, so North Town is sort of disconnected from the rest. Chickens and stuff. I love, did you see that turnip on the right side of the screen? Like right up here with my mouse? Oh my gosh. Schlau is my favorite character. I know I've said that about a lot of characters, but Schlau and Mousefinger are my real favorite characters. Shall we go to the mill? We haven't been to the mill. Staub! Now, Staub isn't a cat, but I do love a dog. Look at him. Oh, he's a handshaking dog. I want to see all the pets, chat. We want to see all the pet animals. Glass windows. That must have cost a fortune. It's true, that must have cost a fortune. What a curious mill. The wind turns the sails, and that powers the grinding stone. Roman ruins! Okay, we gotta check that out. People would have been all too aware of Roman ruins. Which one of the kids draws on the Roman ruins? That's so cute. They like play down here. Ah, interesting. Okay, that's cool. And we'll go to the meadow, because we're going to head to the, well, snowdrops. The only flowers that can bloom this early in spring at this altitude. That guy is like a spirit guide, I'm pretty sure. The shepherd, which would make sense as a shepherd. Like, the way he talked earlier. I need to see this conversation, though. Father, I've said this before, but it isn't good that the water drains here so quickly. It's all affecting the foundation. It's affecting the foundation. It needs to be looked at. I understand, but if you dig here, you may be disturbing the bodies decomposing in the yard. Of course, Father, but they're going to be dug back up again anyway. Yes, but why disturb them unnecessarily? It's your church, Father, but you can't put this off forever. The foundation is going to crack. I understand. Perhaps after some of the bones have been moved to the ossuaries. Thank you, Lucky. Ah, good day, Master Mauler. Good day, Father Thomas. Everything all right with the church? Oh yes, Lucky was again reminding me of the danger severe rainfall can pose to the foundation. God looks after his flock, but sometimes the pen requires an earthly hand. I like that sort of combination we're seeing here. A little more of, it'll be taken care of. God be with you, Andreas. That's the humanism we were talking about. It's not like atheism. It's not like that. It's showing that humans have to put effort into their faith, which is where Protestantism kind of rises out of. But humanism is inherently and originally a Catholic idea. Catholic in the medieval sense, not necessarily in the modern sense either, because there's no Catholicism as it were yet, because there's no Protestantism yet. We have just the beginning of this thought process. I like this guy. Hello there, Master Mauler. Hello, Till. Bumped into any ghosts lately? Haha. Not since we last spoke. Good. Have you ever seen a nicer view? Don't get sights like this in the cities, I expect. It's hard to believe the Romans built a town all the way out here, and we just let these structures fall apart. Yeah, sure. Oh yes, the old Roman ruins. Tassin is full of them. Quite the marvels they are. I don't pay much mind to the writing on them, as I can't read Latin myself, but you might enjoy giving them a look. If you do, you'll have to tell me if they match the old legends I read about. What sort of old legends? Well, when Father Matthias was an abbot, he would let me borrow books from the abbey's library. I think I read through half of that library before Father Gonneau became abbot. His writing style changed when we found out he can read. He and Father Thomas are strict about which books should be read now. Books should glorify God, they say, not discuss the old pagan ways. Still, the accounts of the Romans in Tassin are my favorite. That old book talked about how the Roman knight Gaius Metellus defeated the, Rhaetii, I think it was? Rhaetii. Heavy snowfall had him caught in this very valley. Barbarians on all sides. When Mars sent a wolf to the night. Mars, the Roman god of war, agriculture. Mars represents civilization and peace through military might. It's interesting, Mars took over for Athena in a lot of ways when it became a Roman religion, because Romans were very misogynistic. And instead of killing the beast, Gaius followed it to a magical spring with trees covered in all sorts of fruit. Mars provided the wolf and the spring, and Gaius Metellus found Tassin after, defeating the barbarians to honor Mars. That's where all this came from. It sounds like the story Brother Matthew told me about St. Moritz, without the Roman gods, of course. I hadn't thought of that. Both were snowed into this valley, weren't they? And saved near a spring. I wonder if it's the same story. Oh, I don't know about all that, Master Mauler. A lot of stories get mixed up over the years. It might be all fable, but I enjoy the stories all the same. This guy's interesting. It's nice to feel you're connected to those who came before you, even if it's only by the land you live on. Books connect us to the pasts we hardly imagined existed. I'm big into these answers. Well said. It's been good chatting with you, Master Mahler, but I'd better get back to work. You let me know if you find any particularly good books in that library, alright? I will. Until later, Till. He would have liked that French book, but we gave it back. Martin? Hey, Martin. Oh. Eat shit, Andreas. Ah, shoo. Oh, no. I should get to the scriptorium. Gurnot will give me an earful if I'm late again. You know, I really don't need that kid to like me, but, like, it would have been nice to be, like, a figure for him. The figures in the shrine of St. Christopher are quite nice. Christopher the Traveler, one of the 14 holy helpers, St. Christopher is invoked as protection against the plague and to safeguard travelers. He is often pictured as a large man with a staff carrying the child Jesus on his back across a swollen river. St. Christopher also is super popular in Italy, and we're quite close to Italy, so it kind of makes sense, but southeastern Italy in general, they love St. Christopher because there's a lot of travel through there, and so he became, like, very essential to a lot of churches in the area. Hey, Klaus. God be with you, Andreas. Are you still preparing to leave, even with this weather? The weather is unfortunate, but the Baron's wife, Lady Salamea, will be arriving today. Ooh. My lord intends to depart as soon as she arrives. How long have they been married? 7 years now. She's a fine woman, a true lady. I was hoping to bid farewell to the Baron before he leaves. I'm sure he would appreciate that. He spoke highly of you before he went to bed. Interesting. He was disappointed that you didn't debate him at supper, but he understands that you didn't want to anger the abbot. Part of the art of rhetoric is understanding the right forum in which to persuade someone. I think these issues are more theologically complex than is suitable for mealtime. I like the part of the art of rhetoric is understanding the right forum to persuade someone. That's not the right forum for the abbot. That was not the right forum for the... My lord always wants to discuss things when the mood hits him. He's often alone in feeling it, unfortunately. Lorenz, is there any chance I could redeem myself in the Baron's eyes? Pretty good chance. Acted honored at Lorenz's invitation. Expressed fascination at Luther's ideas. Addressed the Baron respectfully. Tried to turn down the Baron's supper invitation. Oops. Eloquently declined to debate him at dinner. I think I did the right things there. No! Perhaps not on this occasion. I believe you may have offended the Baron in some other ways as well. Some way? Or some ways. I would not fret too much about it, Master Mahler. He is a forgiving man. Where has your master gone, then? He went for a walk early in the morning. He didn't say when he'd be back. I hope he returns soon. The rain is turning everything to mud. My lord might surprise you, Andreas. He never minds getting mud on his boots. Interesting. Of course, I'm the one who has to clean them. The Baron seems to be quite an unusual man in many ways. Ah, it may be so. I only know him as my lord for these last 7 years. That reminds me, did you see a short, surly-looking young man in a hat on your way up this morning? Wink. Surely you don't mean me. Ha, no, he was shorter than you by 2 hands, at least. Ah, that can only be Martin Bauer. Might have gone with sullen or whiny, but that's him. Here in passing the meadow and I was walking up the hill. He was in quite a hurry. Ah, that would explain my lord's missing rings. Oh, what rings are these? 1 gold, 1 silver, a handful of gulden, and a book the Baron was planning to give to the abbey. Gold coins used as currency throughout the Roman Empire. Though different standards exist for golden in different regions, it is generally equivalent to the Florentine florin. Why? Because they're made out of gold, chat, so the value is the same. A book? Historia Tassii? I believe so, yes. I went to pack the Baron's things, and they were missing. Boy is a known thief, wouldn't you? Why do you think Martin stole the rings? Yesterday I caught the boy with the hat. Martin, I suppose. Peering through the windows. I could have admonished him at the time, but, well, he seemed harmless. That's a shame. I hope the Baron won't be too put out. My lord is a man of some means. He won't miss the gold or the rings. I do think he will be upset about the book. He was quite excited for the abbot to see it. In any case, I must finish preparing the horses. It was good talking to you, Andreas. Of course, I hope this rain lets up for you soon. God willing, until next time. Until then, I like McClouse. He's a nice guy. He's a working man. He's a working man. I just wanted to pet Mousefounder. Hi, Mousefounder. Oh. That's a cute cat. Alright. Best not to bother the nuns. I actually have some... Interesting. Hello. I love that he takes his hat off when he goes inside. Very respectful. Ah, it is dead in here, huh? Well, off to work. We've got work to do, chat. What up, homies? Oh, this is wonderful. The rest of the abbey is soaked, and there's not a drop of rain in here. Good thing the abbot had auto-replaced the roof to the scriptorium and library last month. With the calefactory next door, we can stay warm while everyone else is cold and wet. Calefactory, a communal warming room in the monasteries. Calefactories are usually attached to the cloister, but in Kirsau it is a part of the old abbey, and therefore connected to the old scriptorium. It keeps the monks warm and the library dry. Instead of bragging about our good fortune, you should think about your brothers and sisters, and pray for their health and safety. Brother Idoc, aren't you happy that the books are safe? Brother Guy's mirth at the misfortunes of our brethren has quenched the flame of joy in my heart. These two! Huh. We are that grumpy old monk, but where's the nice one? Brother Piero? Haven't you seen him yet today? I did, before Brother Guy arrived. Brother Piero left to speak to the abbot some time ago. Oh. What? Why is Matthew ringing the bell? It can't be terse already. I pray it stops soon. Such a cacophony is an assault on my frail ears. It's not stopping. I suppose this means we're being summoned to the chapter house. God, give me the strength to endure the rain. It's 50 feet, old man. You'll be fine. You'll live. God, give me the strength to endure this man. The outline is also a thing. Like, you see the black outline before filling it in with red. Very cool. It's still not stopping. What's going on? This can't be all because of the storm. I should see what's the matter. Oh. Wow, I haven't been down here. It's kind of spooky. Let's go to the church, because that's where we'd want to go if the bell was ringing. Ring-a-ding-dinging. No? The chapter house. Where the fuck is the chapter house? think something terrible has happened. Oh no, I like this guy. He's cool. The nuns! Oh. Please, Father, where is Brother Florian? Have him come quickly. Be silent, brother. Brother Florian, if you please. Oh. Brother Florian was a soldier before becoming a monk. I bet. I'm sorry, Father. There's nothing to be done. He's dead. Margaret. Sister Margaret, calm yourself. Sister Gertrude, please take Sister Margaret back to the garden. Yes, Mother Cecilia. Oh, the poor nuns. Brother Matthew, God protect us. The Baron was a friend of the Prince Bishop of Freezing. Why is he so worried about the Prince Bishop? This abbey is odd in more than one way. Its existence offends some in the church. We are far from Rome in minds that everyone forgets about us, but this could bring unwanted attention. Florian, how easily do you think you could dispose of this body? Father Abbot, what are you saying? Why are you questioning me? Why are you wasting precious time? Do you want to see the soldiers of the Prince Bishop march up our steps and fling your brothers and sisters out of our home? Do, Pradel, God protect us. Cultus Sacra Deus. Silence! Quiet, they're all saying prayers. Calm yourselves, all of you. Father Abbot, Baron Rothvogel's manservant is already preparing to leave. Baron's wife should be here in a matter of hours. This is not the time for rash decisions. Yes, you're right. Forgive me. But then, what will we do? We must send the Baron's man to the court of the Prince Bishop in Frisian at once. Mother Cecilia, the Baron said the Prince Bishop's Archdeacon was in Innsbruck for the Imperial Diet. Even better, swift action will silence any whispers of impropriety on our part. Given the Baron's stature, the Archdeacon will undoubtedly come to investigate immediately. We must cooperate with him fully and pray for a speedy resolution. Yes, good. Thank you, Mother Cecilia. Brother Wooslav, please detain Brother Piero in the cellar until the Prince Bishop's man arrives. What? Brother Piero? Why? Father Gernot, I implore you to reconsider. He was caught in the flagrant delicto, covered in blood with a knife in his hand. Red-handed. In blazing offense, indicating an individual has been caught in the act of committing a crime. Father, do you really believe that Brother Piero is capable of such a foul deed? Yes, capable enough when motivated by anger. I had no anger against the Baron, Father Abbot. I simply came across him like this. No anger? Not even for insulting your work and forcing us to give it to Andreas? This is not a subject for debate. When the Prince Bishop's man arrives, we must not be empty-handed. Even if Piero wanted to kill the Baron, he's not... Anyone who is in the scriptorium knows that. Even Guy knows that. Even if Piero wanted to kill the Baron, he's not. Be quiet. This is not your affair. It is my affair if you're going to make me part of Brother Piero's supposed motive. Forgive me, Father. I don't think that Brother Piero could have done this. Your position has been noted. My decision stands. Brother Wooslav will detain Brother Piero in the cellar until I say otherwise. Brother Florian, please escort Andreas out of the abbey. Andreas, do not show your face here again until tomorrow. Do you understand me? Yes, I do understand. Andreas, listen to me. I sympathize with you. I don't think Piero did this either, but this isn't the time to push the abbot. I'm sure the other brothers and sisters believe Piero is innocent as well, but the abbot is worried about the Prince Bishop's attention. If you have any recommendations, I'd love to hear them. Take a few hours to calm your nerves and your mind. You need to think clearly. Go to the Druckers, eat a good meal, and come back at nones. Monastic hour corresponding to 3 p.m. One of the little hours of prayer. We haven't had much time, but tap on my window with a small stone, and I'll let you in. Let me in for what? To examine the body. Holy shit. I should follow Florian's advice and go to the truckers. Hopefully it will clear my head. Florian mandated dinner. The doctor is telling me to go get some dinner. Alright, fine. Oh, he's printing. That's print. It's block printing. Good J, Andreas. Back from the Abbey already. It's only noon, because you would have to do it upside down and backwards so that when you printed it, it printed in the right direction. Back from the Abbey already? It's only noon. Andreas, are you alright? No, something terrible has happened. Oh god, what happened? No, forgive me. Come inside and sit down for a minute. If it's not an imposition... Not an imposition at all. My friends are always welcome in my home. Besides, I could use your opinion on something. Thanks, man. Marie, the baguettes. Hurry up. Good day, Andreas. Should I fix you a plate? I'm always glad to eat your cooking, Marie. I'm nice to all the ladies. Oh my. Klaus, you must invite Andreas over more often so I can hear someone compliment my food. Your cooking is lovely, darling. Bertolt! Hello. Hello, Bertolt. How are you? Sleepy. Come back to my workshop. Oh, he's like a full-time printer. Okay. I'm going to do a new run of Till Eulenspiegel. There was a printing a few years ago in Strasbourg, and it was awful. Almost bereft of illustrations. Popular Till is a prankster, continually exposed in the vice. It's also quite social. Oh, right, this guy. What do you think of these new ones? Thank you. I'll be sure to let Marie know. Are these her woodcuts? Marie does the woodcuts? They are. The drawings were mine, but she did the block cuts. I've got enough talent to draw the designs, but only she can do the woodcuts and the type. Wow! Marie's very talented. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. 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 I'm hungry. Amen. Andreas, what were the bells for at the Abbey? They were sounding for a long time. Visiting noble Lorenz Rothvogel was found murdered in a chapter house. Good God in heaven. He just rode by here yesterday. Yes, and what gets worse, one of the elderly brothers I work with in the scriptorium, Piero, was accused of the crime. That's awful. A murder in Curacao? How could a monk do such a thing? I'm sorry, Andreas. The Baron seemed like an interesting man. I know he's been a patron of the Abbey for years. How did he die? Could it have been an accident? And does the abbot really believe that Brother Piero killed him? You've always spoken of him in the kindest terms. It seemed like Rollens had been stabbed, but I don't know. There was a lot of blood around him. But no, I don't believe Piero did it. I can't imagine him harming anyone. Stabbed? It's hard to imagine a monk doing that as well, but who knows? Oh, but could it have been one of the sisters? But if it wasn't Brother Piero, who do you think could have done it? I did see Lucky Steinauer get into a shouting match with the Lorenz yesterday, just before I walked by your place. Lucky? Why would he have cause to shout at a nobleman? Let's start with, the bread. There's probably something else going on that you wouldn't know about, dear. What do you mean by that? I'm not one to trade gossip, but if you really want to know, talk to some of the other women in town. Our Mother Cecilia up at the Abbey. I didn't realize you saw much of Tassing. Oh, there's no need for that. Lucky is a forthright man. I'm sure if you ask him, he'll tell you what the argument was about. Thank you both. That's good advice. There's something else, though. When Lorenz and I were walking through the meadow, the widow Kemper came out of the woods and... Yes. Well, she cursed him. I'm not surprised. Ottilia's late husband, Ranig, ran afoul of Lorenz on his last visit to Tassing. I don't remember the details, but Ranig died just last year, and Ottilia hasn't been the same since. The egg pasta. She was always an old bitch, even before she was old. Klaus, that's enough. She's had to deal with a Job's lot in life. Job, like that. And now she lives all alone at the edge of the woods. There are rumors she's going to lose her property soon. I do pity her, even if she is a bitter woman. There should be some exception in law for her to inherit. That would seem like it would be more just. It wasn't always this way. I think my great-grandmother inherited this land way back when. Well, if men changed it, they can change it back. You're right, as always, my dear. Enough about Ottilia. Is there anyone else you may think have done it? I don't know if he has any ill intent, but Prior Ferenc has been acting strangely since the day Lorenz arrived. Perhaps an academic disagreement. I know they're both avid readers, both of classics and new works. On his last visit, the Baron bought a book of astronomy from me. I know the Prior has some similar interests. But would the Prior kill someone over a simple disagreement? Depends on the nature of the disagreement. Many have killed, or been killed, for their beliefs. What is an opinion for some is a testament of faith for others, and worth killing for. That may be so, but I've never seen that sort of anger in Prior Ferenc, not even when Gernot was made abbot instead of him. Afterward he seemed bitter, but never violent. That just doesn't seem to be part of his character. So, Lucky, the widow, and the Abbey Prior. Anyone else? There was something strange when we approached the Abbey together. Mother Cecilia was outside with some of the sisters. Mother Cecilia scowled and took the nuns inside without saying a word. It sounds like they have a history, at least. Give me that sausage. I do not know Mother Cecilia personally, but I have never heard anyone speak badly of her. If she had cause to dislike the Baron, I must believe she had good reason. Well, Andreas, it sounds like there's a lot to look into. Thank you for talking to me. I was feeling overwhelmed. Thank you for your care. It's helped me understand how I can help Piero. And you are always welcome here, Andreas. Anytime. Yeah! You are especially welcome with this one. I love that Bertolt the kids fucking love Andreas. It's awesome. God be with you, Andreas. Thank you. God be with you. South here, near Franz Bauer. Prior Frank is usually at the scriptorium, but I won't be able to talk to him until tomorrow. Speaking of the scriptorium, I really should look at what Frank was writing in that book yesterday. Still, nothing would prevent me from talking to Mother Cecilia in the convent. If I don't attend Brother Florian's examination of the body at the Abbey, he'll have to do it without me. Let's go examine the body. I'm not, like, an expert on that kind of stuff, but, Andres, this way. I'm not an expert on bodies, but I think I'll be good at this. There you are. I'm glad the storm didn't delay you. Even though I gave instructions that I was not to be disturbed, we must work quickly. Seeing a corpse up close can be unsettling for some. I hope you're up to it. I've paged to the Fasciculus Medicinae, and he's seen its mound illustrations. Quite graphic. Books don't quite convey the reality of the situation, Andreas, or the smell. Now, then, you should probably take notes as we go. They might be useful later. Ah, of course. Do I actually, like... Hold on. I'll begin by inspecting his interior, starting with the face and head. No visible wounds, no blemishes. Teeth in good condition, nothing unusual. Neck, shoulders, and chest are ordinary. I need to clean some blood away to examine the torso. Yes, there it is. A puncture wound between the 6th and 7th ribs. Puncture, 6th, 7th ribs. Like Jesus? It's like the side wound, guys. I estimate it penetrated about an inch, and it likely came from his own... I estimate it penetrated only about an inch, and it likely came from his own hand. Own hand. Did it on himself? How can you tell? A Nuremberg inch? That's funny. That doesn't sound deep enough to... From the angle and depth of the strike, it is as though he were holding it in his right hand as he fell on his side. You must know that I was not always a monk. I was a mercenary. I knew it! I fucking knew it! A mercenary in Poland. My familiarity with wounds comes from my time on the battlefield. I'm no true surgeon, but I'm the closest Kersal has. Yeah, that makes sense. If the wound was that shallow, it doesn't sound like it could have been fatal. People who learn doctoring, a lot of them learned it on the battlefield at the time. And, like, surgery and stuff. It wasn't. It's likely incidental, received while falling on his own knife. He must have some other wound that has issued forth all the blood we found in him. Another wound? Who do you think killed him? I don't know. I can't even speculate. All I can do is examine his body and hope that you can figure out the rest. Simply pointing out the implausibility of Brother Piero striking the fatal blow may not be enough to convince the Archdeacon. Brother Piero never should have picked up that knife. I'm sure the appearance of guilt never even crossed his mind. Yeah. Now then, let's move on. Well, there is a sore on his sex. Probably from the French disease. I doubt it had anything to do with murder. Oh my god. I'm not familiar with it. It was first discovered 20 years ago by French soldiers visiting brothels in Naples. Yeah, syphilis in Naples. Anyway, it seems the Baron was not the most faithful husband, not uncommon among the nobility. I would expect a monk to be more shocked by this. Okay. Moving down. I'm very professional, chat. Other than a few blisters on his feet from what I assume are new shoes, there's nothing wrong with his legs. Andreas, can you help me turn him over? Okay. Of course. Syphilis. Yeah, syphilis first found in Naples. There's a joke about syphilis zombies in Naples at the time. There's a slight irregularity in his spine, possibly from an old injury. I don't think it has anything to do with how he died, though. Wait, does Baron Lorenz have scoliosis? How could that have happened? I have no idea. Whatever the reason, it didn't contribute to his death. Here it is. A rather dramatic head wound. Oof. Good. This pen isn't working, chat. Dark hair and the blood make it difficult to see, but it's quite bad. In my experience, I've never seen someone walk away from a head wound of this severity. Too many, and not enough. As grim as it sounds, there's always more to learn. Italian doctors try to examine as many corpses as they can to fully understand the mysteries of the body. The battlefields of Poland and Lithuania aren't as ideal a learning environment as the University of Bologna, but they did provide an education of sorts. I'd rather be treated by someone with experience than a novice with a university education. I appreciate your confidence. The wound looks like it was caused by a single powerful blow from a blunt object, no more than 4 or 5 inches across. Blunt object. This fucking pen chat. How am I supposed to take notes? Ooh. Ooh, no. It's like sticky and gross. Okay. Okay. Well. How can you tell? The skull is cracked in a single spot, and there's a clear impression in the skin around it. It would take extraordinary precision to hit the same spot twice, unless the Baron were already dead. It's likely he didn't die immediately. How long could he have survived for? I've seen similar injuries in battle. Some victims don't last more than a few minutes, but it's an agonizing death. Oh, I got ink all over my fingers. Even so, he couldn't have wandered far from where the blow was first struck. So he must not have been attacked in the chapter house. He was either attacked in the chapter house or someplace in the immediate area. Is the church a possibility? I can't imagine it. Rudiger and Matthew are in and out of there constantly. Rudiger. Okay. Noise in the church is easy to hear, and the Baron would have to go through the cloister to line up in the chapter house. Anyway, whatever killed the Baron was a blunt instrument of a considerable heft. The part that impacted him was likely a little smaller than a fist. Could it have actually been a fist? Ah, no, I don't think the strongest soldier could do this with a punch, unless the Baron's head were pressed to the ground. Even then, we would also see damage to his nose or forehead. Could a woman or elderly person have done it? Anyone could have given the right weapon and sufficient height. Whoever did this must have caught the Baron unaware, save the small knife wound. He was no other injuries. I suppose that he was struck, drew his knife to defend himself, and fell on it before Brother Piero discovered him. So, I believe we've discovered 2 important things. Piero didn't stab the Baron, and even if he had, that wasn't what killed him. Indeed, though it may take more to convince the Archdeacon of Brother Piero's innocence. And we would also know the Baron was killed by a blow to head from a heavy, blunt object. Now you just need to find what caused the blow and learn who struck it. Oh, there is one other item of interest. I found it in the Baron's jacket, but didn't want to open it without you. It's like a letter for me, right? A note of some kind. As I am a caretaker of men, you are a caretaker of parchment. I leave it to your capable hands. Oh, because I'm a book guy, they gave me a little something. Das Madkin. What does it say? The girl who died and the innocent with her. Matins chapter. The girl who died and the innocent with her. Matins chapter. The girl? What girl? And what innocent? One of the nuns? Someone from the village? One of the nuns? It's been years since any of those nuns have died. Perhaps Mother Cecilia would remember. Can you tell who wrote it? They're not in Italian, I can tell you that. Italian scribes use humanist script. This is a highly refined Gothic hand. True, you can see the Gothic. As good as Idok and Guy are, I don't think they could replicate this. What? Really? If not them, who? I intend to find out. I wish you good luck finding the answer. Now I'm sorry to rush you, but I must ask you to leave. Every minute you stay here is an additional rip. Brother Florian, could you open up? It's Werner Stoltz, the physician from Tassing. Yes, I'm in the middle of something. Could you return after supper? I'm afraid it can't wait. Father Gano asked me to examine the Baron's body. Alright, just give me a moment. Andreas, I need you to hide yourself. Of course. Ah, Dr. Stoltz. Sorry to keep you waiting. Now, what did you need? Abbott wanted me to examine the Baron's body before his wife arrives. It seems unnecessary at this point, as I've just completed my own examination. Well then, what's the harm in letting me take a look? Dr. Stoltz, with all respect, I've finished. The cause of death is clear. If you had arrived an hour ago, I would have had no problem with your assistance. Assistance? I'm a university-trained physician. I can examine a corpse on my own without the help of a battlefield sawbones. Regardless of your opinions regarding my abilities, the examination is finished. If you insist on inspecting the body anyway, I must insist that the abbot tells me himself. What? Making me bring the abbot here is a waste of time. So, is performing an examination on this corpse immediately after one was just completed. Idiotic. I'll return with Father Gernot presently. Why is Father Gernot so eager, chat? That was close. Now quickly, leave through the cloister before they return. Of course. Thank you, Brother Florian. Think nothing of it. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then. Oh. I should find someone to eat with. I can't get that note out of my head. Girl who died and the innocent with her. What could it mean? Who wrote it? Do you think I could eat dinner with Mother Cecilia? I gotta eat supper fucking somewhere. Alright, how many days do I have? Thorsten! Ah, look at that little fuzzy boy. She must know her husband's dead, right? Ah, Master Mala, would you care to share supper at my table? I would like to talk to you about my late husband. My Lady Rothvogel, I would be honored to break bread with you. Honestly, not a bad idea. Thank you. Please sit. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen. I find myself rather out of place here without the comfort of the Baron. Thank you for agreeing to share a meal with me, Master Mahler. Of course, the honor is mine. It is a terrible thing what happened to the Baron. It has given me the shock of my life. I am trying to find comfort where I can in my ladies and the Lord. Quail and cheese and bread and lemon tea. Let's eat the quail. Not that there is much comfort to be found in the cold and dreary alpine towns. Lorenz and I had meant to take a turn, or had to make a tour of them before returning home to Worms, but, well, return we shall. I'm sorry for your loss, my lady. This sorrow is just the first of many, I'm afraid. Are you married yourself, Master Mahler? A woman waits me in Nuremberg. Do you not look forward to the responsibilities of marriage, Master Mahler? Perhaps it's no surprise you and Lorenz became fast friends. I imagine he saw something of himself in you. Rarely have I met someone with such a depth of knowledge and a thirst for debate. His thirsts were not limited to his scholarly pursuits, regrettably. His lusts for drink and women once afflicted him with great remorse, though such shame faded with time. Lorenz was a flawed man. His various infidelities were no secret to me. But are we not all flawed before Christ? I loved him as a wife should properly love her husband, but I would not say that we were friends. That's sad. I only hope his appetites are not what led him to this end. Interesting. I've been searching for the answer to that quandary myself. Were you and Lorenz so close that you would trouble yourself so? My motivation is personal. My mentor, Brother Piero, was found with the Baron's body, but I do not believe he killed your husband. If not him, then who? There are many possibilities, both here at the Abbey and in town. Your husband managed to cultivate many enemies in his short time here. That does sound like Lorenz. He was a man of many opinions, and he gave them freely to all who would listen, and some who would not. The previous abbot, Father Matthias, seemed to appreciate that about him. This new abbot is perhaps more conservative. Father Matthias was an open-minded man, from all I've heard, a true scholar. Father Gernot doesn't share Matthias's passion for the written word, yet endures the expense of it. To be put in such a position would make any man unhappy, I understand. I wonder what will become of Lorenz's gift to the abbey. Wait for her to continue. He had found a book about the history of Tassing. He believed it contained some scandalous details. He said it corroborated fears Father Matthias had expressed, but he didn't share the particulars with me. Was the appearance of the book peculiar or noteworthy in any way? It was neither large nor small, bound in blue leather. Unfortunately, I never examined it myself. My apologies. I'm sorry I can't be of more help. I have some education, but I lack my husband's thirst for knowledge. If you find the book, hopefully its significance will be apparent. God wills it. You plan to stay in Tassin long? Only so long as it takes the Archdeacon to investigate my husband's murder. Though the circumstances of my time here are dire, I'm in no hurry to return. Why is that? I may ask. I shouldn't. I see a glimmer now of what Lorenz saw in you. You are a disarming man, Master Mahler, and much too easy to talk to. Be frank, I do not know what will become of me when I return to Worms. My title and residence may be in jeopardy. Lorenz and I have a son, but he is young yet. I don't know many of the legalities, only that my position is at some risk. You're in a difficult position, my lady. I will pray for your happiness. As will I, Master Mahler. I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but I fear I must rest. Thank you for having me at your table. Be well, Master Mahler. And whatever anyone says of my husband, I'm certain he appreciated your friendship. I should get some sleep. Gotta follow the rules of society here, chat. We're gonna go get some sleep. The day passes by quickly. It's frustrating. I'll be honest with ya. What a sweet little family. I should get some rest. Rest is good for you, chat. You can't be productive unless you rest. Ooh. Woken up in the middle of the night. Aww. Under. Good morning. Oh, it's not morning. It's the middle of the night, Ursula. What are you doing up here? Stabbed. I see. Haha. Would you like me to tell you a story? Would that help you sleep? So it's a little girl about your age who was sold with a basket of oranges. A man had to pay rent to the king every year. Cost was 4 baskets of oranges. This was in Italy, of course. You don't even know what an orange is. Anyway, the man's young daughter had hair the same color as yours, same as an orange. And the man didn't have enough oranges to pay the rent, so he put his daughter in the 4th basket. He covered her with the oranges and sent the baskets to the king. When the king's servants found the little girl, the king told them to raise her as a servant. They called her Arancetta, like a little orange. You don't know Italian, so that doesn't mean anything to you, but it's very cute. Anyway, as the girl grew older, the king's son, the prince, fell in love with her. But the other servants were jealous, and they gave her 3 impossible... Anyway, they were very happy together. Ursula, so you chat. Time to get back to work. Under Clara and Eva. Hello, Anders. It's nice to see you out and about. Morning, Clara. Keeping busy. Always, if it's not the washing, it's the cooking, the mending, the tidying. I'll lose my head if I count it all. And that's before we get to the wool. Goodness, all that wool. Wool? Well, we sheared the ewes last week to prepare for the lambing. You remember the bleating, I'm sure. How could you forget? My ears are still ringing. Now the wool's all washed, and we've had a pile of spinning to get through before the lambs are born. Where will we find the time? Sounds like a lot of work. Surely you have some help. Oh yes, sometimes more than we need. Many of the women in Tassing lend a hand, so it goes quickly. Many hands make light work, eh? Nice. Even baby Ursula? Oh, we give her a little wool to play with, but she's too young yet. Not for too much longer, though. My mother taught me to spin when I was still in soft shoes. I've never had much of a hand for spinning, so I enjoy the company more than the work. Yeah. It's rare so many of the women in town are in the same room together. We share recipes, stories, hardships, friendship, you know. And maybe a little bit of gossip, too. Almost know quite about the goings-on in Tassing. We know some, it's true, but Johann Bauer is there to watch over us, so things can't get too rowdy. Oh, Andreas, you should come by. I'd like that, thank you. Everyone will be glad to see you, I'm sure. We meet at Johann Bauer's house. Please come by in the morning or afternoon and speak to Johann. I should get back to my labors, but it was lovely to see you, Andreas. Take care. Be well, Clara. Eva? It would be fun to have you spinning with us, Andreas. The spinning bee. Oh my god, we get to go watch them spin. Hey, Andreas, you say hello to the girls today? Eva and Clara? No, I mean the chickens. Peter, James, and John. They like it when you stroke their back or give them a good scratch under the breast. You named your chickens after the apostles? Better not let Father Thomas know. That's beyond sacrilegious. Clara said the same thing. She thinks I'm being irreverent. But Peter, James, and John witnessed the God's greatest moments of glory. Oh, Jesus' greatest moments of glory and his darkest trials. And I was thinking, that's how it is with the girls and me. They see everything I deal with around here. Makes perfect sense to me, Big George. You have much in common. You're making fun. It's fine. I get it. I'll just call them the girls from now on. I don't recall your family eating eggs. What do you do with all of them? Oh, we sell them to the Bowers. Clara says we need the extra money for taxes. Anyway, I should get back to it. Until later, Andreas. Until then. Okay, let me look at my journal. I got a lot of shit to do, so... Archduke he will be gathering evidence about the murder and integrating those information. I should talk to Lucky and find out what he's arguing about with the Baron. He's usually working next to the house north of the Commons. Tilia Remprin knew the Baron when we were walking through the meadow. I need to find out why she hated him so much. The widow's house is next to Franz Bowers. The cult Hans. My Frank has been acting strangely since the Baron alive. I should talk to him to find out if there's something going on between them. He's usually in the scriptorium. Never did look at what he was writing. The Baron and the nun. I was able to find an entrance to the library through a false relief. Now I just have to go inside after the nuns have left. Mother Cecilia reacted poorly to the Baron's appearance and the Abbey. Could she have something to do with the murder? I should find out what their history is. She's usually in the prioress's house in the convent. And the spinning bee, some of the peasant women have invited me to spin with them and share a little gossip at the town. I should learn about who would have wanted to kill Lorenz. The women meet at Johann Bauer's house, just off the Commons. I should let Johann know I want to attend. Where's Johann Bauer's house? God bless you. I'm gonna go talk to Johann Bauer and say I want to attend. Hans? Because we're doing the history here, chat. We gotta go see some spinning and listen to the gossip. How's it going, Hans? Keeping busy in the fields? I guess. You like it? What? Farming. I never really thought about it. Dad says it has to get done whether I like it or not. What do you think about then? What do you think about then? Uncle Franz said Brigitte might come help with the laundry too. Does he like Brigitte? She's Martin's wife, right? She seems nice. She is. Nicer than Veronica, anyway. I wish Brigitte lived here instead of her. Well, you have a good time thinking about your cousin's wife. What? Until later, Hans. Bye. Hans has a crush on his cousin's wife. Andreas, was just wondering when you'd turn up. The gaggle said you'd come to watch them spin. Between you and me, Hetty's not about to let you go once she's got you in her claws. So I hope you've got a few hours to hunker down and get comfortable. I'm happy to spend a few hours. Hetty will be glad to hear it. She's got a fondness for you. Heaven knows why. The women like Andreas. Now I can't let you inside among the unmarried girls, being unmarried yourself. But you're welcome to watch through one of the windows. I understand. I'm a little peeping Tom. Didn't want to jump in feet first. You don't think he's gone to Innsbruck? Lord, no. Innsbruck's got to be small time to that little shit now. Do you think he has something more exciting in mind? He came to hang out with Andreas. It's a big world. Perhaps he intends to explore it or escape. That nobleman was just murdered up at the Abbey. Martin picked an awful convenient time to run off. Oh, Lord. Andreas was friends with the nobleman. Do you think Martin could have, you know... What motivation could Martin have had? It's not our place to say. Martin has a nasty little habit. He's gotten better. Once a thief, always a thief, I say. Oh my god, no. Martin might be a thief, but I don't think he's a murderer. He's a coward at heart. Do you think it takes a brave man to commit a murder? Not a brave man, but a bold one, and Martin is not that. He's your problem, Cat. What do you think? Could he have killed that man? Wow. This is a matter best left to the proper authorities, not a spinning bee. Imagine being tried by a gaggle of peasant women. That's unkind, Johann. It's the truth, isn't it? Doesn't matter if it hurt your feelings. Right on, Johann. You're being unfair. Remind me, Andreas, whose home are we in? Oh, lay off him, Johann. Jesus. I forgot she curses all the time. Andreas, if you're just going to stand around, how about I put you to work? If you're going to gossip with the girls, you might as well spin with them. Spin with them, too. How does this work? Draft wool from the distaff and twist it tight, then spin the tight yarn onto the spindle. Once there's enough yarn on the spindle, collect it at the bottom and begin again. Draft, twist, spin, collect, repeat. You'll figure it out. I've got it! I love this. Andreas is such a good character. You know, I took Ursula to play with Gret's daughter the other day, and there was a strange man in the bakery. Was he polite to you? I can't believe Ulrich would stand for anything less. That's right, we know Ulrich. He was very reserved, dark skinned, quite tall, and wearing a tunic? A tunic, you might say. He liked the rye bread, I remember. Oh! The rye bread? Who is this man? Why am I just now hearing about this? I believe he is staying at the Abbey. That must be Brother Sebhut. Brigitte saw him walking up there after visiting the shops. He seemed lost. Oh no, did he bang Gret? Where is he from? Does he speak German? Christ, I hate being the last to know. There's a little something going on with Gret and Brother Sebhut. Spin wool as fast as the ladies. Good. You know, I saw Big George talking to that nun again. The young one. Who can blame him? God damn it, yo! Why is hers red? Oh, it's red. He knows she's trouble. I told him to stay away. She's very pretty, isn't she? In a mean way? Pretty, perhaps, but a nun all the same. He knows better. When has that ever stopped Big George from doing anything? Oh my god. We have plenty of pretty girls here in town. My Veronica's not half bad. Ma! Let's not give Andreas any ideas, eh? I'm getting good at this, chat. Brigitte has been spending a lot of time at her mother's house lately. Agnes is glad to have her home, and Lucky's always treated her like a daughter, but I can tell they're concerned. Are Brigitte and Martin having trouble, Veronica? That's one word for it. Brigitte does what she can, but nothing pleases Martin. He won't lift a finger for her or Wolf. Is Wolf their son? Oh, baby! Oh, God, Martin really sucks. He's such an asshole. Well, that's not his business, is it? Women's work and all that. You ever seen him doing much men's work, Dad? Can't say I've ever seen him do much work at all. Perhaps Lucky can talk some sense into Martin. He's always been a devoted husband and father. Lucky Steinauer is the model of what a man should be. Meanwhile, I'm weaving with the women. People are gonna make fun of me for this, but that's alright. That's what we're here for. Otto. Is everyone behaving themselves in here? Oh, it's you. Afternoon, Otto. Come to see anyone special. Hello, Otto. It's good to see you. Oh, yeah. I heard laughing from the road and knew you all had to be up to no good in here. And look, there's Andreas. Have you been minding your manners? Old Johann here is a real stickler for propriety. Yoked to the wheel of propriety, Right. What was I thinking? You're probably going to take everything you hear to the abbot. As if the abbot cares what the common people think. Humph. The abbot's preoccupied with the world to come. Not this one. Maybe he should pay a little more attention to the peasants he's squeezing dry. Before something happens. Happens? The abbey can't step on people forever. They will have to change eventually. Not soon enough, eh? Interesting. Listen, you're a fine young man, Andreas, but you're hardly unbiased. Too much time listening to hymns, not enough time working. That's your problem. No wonder you're not married, Andreas. We all know you work hard in the fields, Johann. No need to boast. He works hard in other places, too. Oh, Hetty! My God! Ma! You've been in town a few months, Andreas. Got any burning questions you've been meaning to ask? About Kirsal Abbey. About Tassing. Oh, Sister Amelie. You know her, Veronica. We're not dear friends or anything, but sometimes she has those fits, you know. And if Father Thomas isn't there and I have time, I'll wait with her until he arrives. Since when? I didn't know anything about this. Ah, and here I thought you just adored the church building. You're so funny, Veronica. Don't make it sound weird. She's nice, and someone should be there when she's in pain. That's all. Life in Anchors is difficult and lonely. I'm sure she appreciates her company. Father, Thomas has reprimanded me for speaking to her. I'm surprised he hasn't done the same to you, Veronica. Oh, I just make sure he doesn't know. Blood sacrament, what have I told you about disrespecting the father? Will you stop your cussing, woman? No! Good for you, Hetty. She's been in Tassin for near on a decade, hasn't she? Since I was a girl, certainly. We've grown up with her, in a way. The woman in the maze, it's like something from a tale of knights and monsters. She's trapped in a box. I don't think there's anything romantic about that. Aren't you a little know-it-all? I didn't realize you were an expert. Come on, Andreas. Surely you've got better questions than that. See much of the monks? Why would we? They think they're better than us up on their fancy hill. They mostly keep to themselves, don't they? Observing the hours and all. I can hear them singing sometimes when the weather is right. It's nice. There are a couple who do their shopping in town. A fat man, very cheerful, and a serious woman with a stern face. One moment. Did you say they're a couple? I meant that there are two of them. They often come down together, that's all. Eva, shush. Fat man is kind. He always says good morning. Do I detect a salacious secret, ladies? Of course not, Master Malo. There are no secrets in Tassie. Except for all the open ones. The fat monk is an alright sort. Caught a pilgrim troubling my Veronica once and set him right. He's really strong. And he has a very loud voice. A very loud laugh, too. I wasn't aware you ladies paid such close attention. Jealous of a monk, Johann? Hardly. A man who's taken a vow of chastity is no threat to me. Certainly not. Hetty and Johann have a good sex life. Good for them. Good lord. That shit, her parents. I notice you don't say much about the sister. Sister Matilda? She's pleasant enough when she comes to town. She's more friendly with Gret and Ulrich than the rest of us. Interesting. How is it you know everything about everyone, Eva? I pay attention. Smart. Huh. Are you bored, Andreas? I'm bored. No more talk of monks and nuns, please. Oh, so you are jealous? I don't know about you girls, but I'm sick of this wool. I'm sure we've all got other chores to get to. I'm glad to have had that over with. Now I don't have to think about wool for a whole year. Oh, I was having such a nice time. Ah, I certainly learned a lot. Care for another home, Eva? For an escort home, Eva? I'd like that, yes. Good for you, Eva. I expect everyone will be on their best behavior going home. They always are. Johann, please. Andreas, will I see you home for supper? That was very illuminating. Thank you all for letting me join you. Thanks for coming by, Andreas. Come back anytime. Unless you come on Abbey business. Don't threaten him with a good time, Johann. Oh boy. I should find someone to eat with. I think I can eat with the prioress. Do you have dinner plans? You should join us for a meal. Maybe another time, if you say so. Oh, so I really get to choose who I dine with. I owe brother Sebhat a meal together. Who's Sep? I don't remember Sep. Are you Joseph? That's right. Well, Sep Hubner. Oh, then Sep it is. You, the artist, staying with the Gertners? Yes, Andreas Mahler. I work in the Abbey Scriptorium during the day. Oh, right. I think I've seen you in the meadow on your way to and from. Anyway, I live out past the mill, farm the land there with my family. I came into town to talk to Endris about some nails, just waiting for him to finish up. Take beer everywhere you go? If I'm thirsty, you're damn right I do. Fair enough. Well, I'll leave you to it. Thanks. Nice meeting you, Andreas. Likewise. Until later, Sep. I kind of like Sep. I would like to see the pretzels. Interesting, interesting. I gotta choose who to have dinner with fast, chat. You know what? I'm gonna go see if I can get Brother Sephat or something. Morning, Andreas. God be with you, Andreas. Ooh, water coming down because of the storm. That's such a cool detail. Just like love the water on the I'm supposed to have dinner specifically, I believe he said, with Sebhat. So let's see if we can get him. Brother Sebhat? No! There he is. Whew. Andreas, I'm sorry about what is happening to Brother Piero. I do not know him well, but I find it hard to believe that he could have killed the Baron. Thank you, Brother Sebhat. He didn't. I'm gonna figure out who did. I will pray for your success. I know it might be far from your mind, but have you considered my offer to eat with you and the townspeople? The gospel says that man cannot live on bread alone, but from time to time, a little bread is required. Of course. I'll talk to Gret and see who... Where should we meet you? At the shrine to St. Moritz. I'll see you there. Until then. Yes! Oh my, Andreas, I have all these family friends, chat. Yes? Are these all the mothers from Tassing and their children? Well, no, I don't think it's all of them. It's all of them. Helena Pfeiffer. Helena Pfeifferin couldn't make it. It's a long walk up here in her condition. And Hetty said Hans was too big for stories. stories? I may have said something about your books. I like stories. Ah, yes, maybe a little too much. Alright, I can tell a story, but first let us pray together and eat. Oh my god, I love Brother Sebhat. Sabat, thank you for bringing us together, as you brought Jesus and his disciples on the road to Emmaus. With the breaking of bread between us, let us recognize each other as Christians and rejoice in our salvation through you. Amen. 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 And I thank you and your husband for this bread, Gret. My Ulrich always says that bread brings people together. I missed this when I was in Florence. Let's start with the rye bread. They don't have bread in Florence? Wah! Yeah, tell me about it. Where's Florence? South, over the mountains. Last week, the blonde lady at our house with the pretty clothes. She was from Florence. Oh. Father Gono eats a white bread, does he not? Yes. The finest wheat is used for the abbot's bread. Why? The abbot is a very important man, Paul. We have a bread in my home that we call injera. We make it thin, round and wide. We put our food on top of it. We eat it with almost every meal. As you love the bread of your home, so I miss mine. Sheep's milk cheese. Oh, what's the recipe? Maybe we could make it. Thank you, but no. We use a fine grain that does not grow here, called teff. Have your fill of it. God, yes. God willing, yes, but then perhaps a day will come when I miss the rye of tassing. Ah, it is the greatest danger that comes with the blessing of travel, living a life between worlds. I don't want to talk about bread anymore. It's so boring. I love talking about bread. The finest bread going to the abbot, that's a sign of class, chat. That's a sign of what standing you are in society. If you're eating rye bread, you're a peasant, but a good peasant. And if you're eating bread with nuts and shit in it, you're poor. And the plague is hitting, or there's a famine or something. And then if you're eating like white bread, like they said about the abbot, you've got money. You can afford to have the mill grain it a little extra, make it nice and fine, easy to eat, easy on the tongue. It's kind of opposite the kind of bread you'll find in the US. If the bread has nuts and shit in it, boy, is that expensive. But if it's white bread, it's like Wonder Bread. They're like, we have machines make this. It's interesting when you think about how our... I'm sorry. I'm going to explain why I just sort of paused there in just a second. How our understanding of food changes with class and over time, and what class we associate with food. Yeah. I did say I would tell a story, children. Have you ever seen a Bible? Father Tom... Yeah, Father Thomas has one. It's huge. My dad has one. It was printed in Bamberg. Don't say that, Paul. Very good. This is a Bible from my home that I brought to give to the abbot. Oh, oh my gosh. In Ethiopia, they had tons of manuscripts. They made their own. But they had a very unique style of manuscripts. And I wish Jazz Enjoyer was here, because Lifetime Jazz Enjoyer knows a lot more about that than I do. Andreas, do you have a favorite story to illustrate from the Bible? Adam and Eve at the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Jacob wrestling with the angel. The Annunciation, when Gabriel appears to me. Elijah and the chariots of fire. We gotta do Adam and Eve. Yes, at the beginning of it all, the fall of man. It is good for us to be reminded of what we lost in Eden. Now then, children, do you know the story of Jesus feeding the multitudes? Fish and loaves! My mom and dad make loaves. I love the kids. This is from our Bible. How we tell the story of how Jesus fed thousands from only a few fish and a few loaves of bread. That is so cool. Look at that. The art, the color. Why is everyone brown? Why, chat? You know. I don't even have anything to say about that. I'm gonna leave it as it is, but we know why, right? Like, it depends where you are. It depends who you are. What Jesus and his apostles looked like? What the evangelists looked like? We don't know. Do we really know? Because where I'm from, everyone looks like me. Why? Because we are all as God has made us. I know Tassie seems big to you, but the world is so much bigger than we can imagine. There are many people of many different colors all over the world. Ah, brother Sabhat. There are places where no one looks like you or me. Really? It's true. In Venice, I saw people come from across the Mediterranean Sea. Not just like Brother Sabat, but people of different places and cultures, even farther away. Persians, Moors. This word is a little outdated, but we don't even know for sure if, well, it would make sense that a medieval person would say it, but we gotta be careful. Ottomans, each with their own way of speaking and dressing, their own customs. It was an overgeneralization. I mean, all of these kind of are. Brother Sabat, did you know the Baron who was murdered? Burn! It came up when I was visiting the Druckers. I needed some. I think he's old enough to understand. Yes. I'm sorry, Marie. There's nothing to apologize for. We can't shield them from the world forever. I did not know him, Bert, but do you know the story of Lazarus? No? Oh my gosh, they've got Lazarus Pit in the... He was a friend of Jesus. I love these manuscript scenes in this. Like, we really get to see the different styles of medieval manuscript because they're dedicated to the historical styles. And like we talked about, the Ethiopian manuscripts. These ones are really true to the manuscripts. This is how the scenes of Christ are depicted in those. It's very cool. Illuminations are very cool. Notice the color, too. But Jesus brought his followers to Lazarus' tomb. He prayed to God, and when they opened the tomb, Lazarus emerged, returned from the dead. Jesus can bring people back from the dead? He can, Bert. One day Jesus will bring us all back from the dead. Everyone who has ever lived and died will come together and be resurrected on Judgment Day. My hat! Even the Romans? Yes, the Romans too. Ah, the hat. I'm sorry. I just... Oh. Why did you ask about the Romans? I saw one come out of their tomb, like Lazarus. What do you mean, Paul? Elsa. Well, the ruins below the mill, they're Roman, and they all died a long time ago. But I saw someone come out the other night. They were in white, like Lazarus. Let's stop telling stories, Paul, and you shouldn't have been outside at night. He's the one drawing. Andreas, what does he mean? I don't know. I think I may have seen something similar. The church recognizes that spirits do exist separate from the flesh. Maybe it's possible. Very dire omen if that is what he saw. I will pray on this. Apologies for that, ladies, but thank you for sharing a meal with me today. I will be leaving for Rome soon, but I'm glad to have spent some time with you and your children. Thank you, Brother Sebat. It was wonderful. Don't forget to stop by the bakery before you go. I'm sure my husband will want to see you before you go. I will. God grant you all health. Ulrich likes Brother Sebat. I wonder why. Time to get back to work. I would love to talk to Mother Cecilia. Gertrude! Gertrude's still my favorite. Oh. Master Mala? Yes, it's me, sister. Do you think Brother Piero really murdered the Baron? No, of course not. Oh, then why did Father Abbot have him put in the cellar? I don't know the answer to that. Father Abbot is afraid what will happen if we can't figure out who the killer really is. Do you think the devil could appear here at Carousel? The devil could appear to Christ at Gethsemane. He can appear to us anywhere. I didn't see the devil, but I think I smelled his odor. The night before the Baron was killed, I woke before matins and I smelled something in our dormitory. It was strange, moss and sulfur mixed with frankincense and roses. It moved through the room. I wanted to scream, but I was too frightened, and then it was gone. I'm ashamed that I didn't cry out, but I didn't know what to do. I don't know what I would have done, that I would have done any better, sister. That's small comfort, but thank you. Thank you, Sister Margaret. God bless you, Master Mahler. Aww. I really like Sister Margaret. Let's talk to the prioress. God bless you, Andreas. Once again, the old German. High German. God bless you, Mother Cecilia. And I like that Andreas is somewhere in between. Is there something I can help you with? I need to talk to you again about the Baron. How you were walked away with the sisters when he arrived. Given that the Baron was just murdered, it seems worth inquiring about the cause. Why? Do you not trust the Abbot's judgment? It is not the Abbot's judgment that matters, but the Archdeacon's. All too true, but you must proceed carefully in your inquiries. The Abbot does not want anything to interfere with the Archdeacon's investigation. That includes you. Help me. Help you what? Blame someone else for the murder? You know that Piero didn't murder the deacon. It had to be someone else. I will not condemn someone else to death. Condemnation is for the Archdeacon and God, not us. There is no sin in bringing truth to light. I am simply a nun. Why do you think I can help you? You know what happens at this abbey better than anyone. I saw you. Better than the Abbot. The Abbot only sees the brother sides. You need to watch over the sisters and know what's happening with the brothers. True. Alright, I did have reason to be concerned about Baron Rothvogel's presence. The Baron caused irreparable harm to one of the sisters on his last visit. Oh no. The damage was severe enough that she had to leave us for some time. That is why I removed the sisters from his presence as soon as I could. Which sister? Can I speak with her? No, Andreas. I don't think that would be appropriate. Alright, this doesn't help me much if I don't... It's a painful memory, Andreas. Alright, this doesn't help me much if I don't know what happened to who... I appreciate that. I understand this is less information than you likely wanted, but I do not think I can tell you any more in good conscience. Trust me when I say that the victim of this incident could not have killed the Baron. I need more than that. Are there any records on her, on what happened? Yes, we keep records on all the sisters in the library. Not that it does you any good. You're not allowed. Could I ask Sister Illuminatus to see them? She won't give them to you. Our records aren't available to outsiders to look through. I found the entrance. Don't try it. You'll be caught, and you'd be lucky if the Abbot not only banished you from the Abbey until Judgment Day. You're probably right. God bless you, Mother Cecilia. May God bless you, Andreas Mahler. Irreparable harm. We gotta find out. That's terrible. That's terrible. What did he do and to who? Just terrible. Sneak into the library. What time is it? I know the way in. Wow, okay. We don't really have to take notes, do we? This takes the notes for me. I do need to talk to some other people. We have a lot of quests to complete. I don't know how much time I have. I should probably work a little bit. Wait. Volkbert? Good day, Andreas. Volkbert's wearing white. I'm doing some braining, chat. I'm doing some brain thinking. Apple trees have only started to bloom. It'll be months before they bear fruit. Animal pens, you say? Who's that? A monument to the founder of the abbey. It's fairly recent. The funds were donated by her descendants. Her descendants? The founder of it. Interesting. What's this? Brother Gerard has been dead quite some time. Why is his grave disturbed? Why is his grave disturbed? Curious. Most curious. Pigs! Pigs and pigs and pigs and chickens! Abattoir. The garden probably has some clues too, I believe we heard. Good cucumbers with pickles. Oh, Gernot is out here. Andreas. He does not want to talk. Fair enough. I love all the clues just sort of everywhere. Like, we will find who did this, but we gotta think about it. It's Guy. What are you doing outside of the scriptorium, Guy? Good day, Andreas. I wonder what Frank was doing with his book. The library of the University of Five Churches. The Hungarians call it PEX. That's where Frank is from. Doctor of Theology, George of Gran. Prop there. Ominous. Ah, the Speculum Astronomi. Albertus Magnus's defense of astrology. We're getting into magic and occultism, chat. Which is about Albertus Magnus, renowned 13th century Dominican theologian, philosopher, astrologer, and Bishop of Regensburg. A prolific writer, he was known primarily for his work on Aristotle and his knowledge of natural sciences. Interesting. Sloppy bookhand couldn't have been produced by an abbey of note. Bastards. That's definitely Frank's handwriting between the lines and the margins. Oh, Frank is making notes in the margins. That's cool. It's probably for the text of the university, because as you're reading it, it's a commentary that would add to the text. These are astrological symbols. What's this? It looks scribbled. Not like Frank to be so sloppy, and he didn't even blot the ink dry. Libra, Capricorn, Aries, all astrological symbols. What's written below? Greek, to be sure. Osbach. That doesn't make any sense. That's not even a word. It's just a jumble of letters. Made up magic words out of Greek, out of Arabic, out of things like this. This must be, or a cipher. Okay. Figure out in due time, but I'll copy this all down to reference later. Solve Frank's cipher. Fold hands. I need to figure out the meaning of cipher. He used a Vauvel while writing it and took it with him. He can't keep it in his robes all the time, can he? Where is your Vauvel, brother? Vauvel is like a astrological tool that you'd find in a book. In this case, it looks like he used it to solve that. Andreas, what an awful time, awful time. A baron murdered at Curacao. These are dark days indeed. Brother Piero, I'll admit, I would have never thought him the type. What could have possessed him? Devil can make monsters of even the holiest men, Prior Frank, but Piero? All men are weak to Satan's temptations, Andreas, even old men. But you have come to me for a reason. Do you need something? You rushed into the scriptorium and hid something strange at your desk. Pardon? And why were you sneaking about the scriptorium? What was it? Some kind of disc? I wasn't sneaking. I dropped a bottle of paint on the floor and was cleaning it up. I can ask questions too, so... Just an academic interest of mine. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. Occultism is kind of like frowned upon. Let us seek common understanding, Master Mahler, as two brothers in Christ. Please, let's. I love to understand things. Scriptorium is my domain, and you are a guest here. And so long as that is true, I do not answer to you, but the abbot only. Is that clear? Don't mind me asking, why aren't you the abbot? It's an elected position, isn't it? Did your brothers not find you fit? That's not. I will not discuss this with you. Are we done here? For now. Be well, Prior Frank. Bless you, Master Mahler. You put the Volvel away before Terse. Interesting. Hi, Doc. God bless you, Andreas. You've been in the dormitory. Aha! What's this? A well? I've seen these before in astronomy and medical tracts. What's this one for? True, astronomy and medical, astrology and magic as well. The top wheel has Greek letters and holes cut out to reveal Latin letters underneath. And the outer edge of the lower wheel is divided into 4 sections, each bearing an elemental symbol. Okay. 24 holes, enough to cover all letters in the Greek and Latin alphabets, because we're classicists, we know that. A quarter of the upper disc aligns a different elemental symbol with the top of the lower disc. That reveals a different set of letters underneath. This must relate to the Greek letters I found in Frank's book. I need to compare them. But these symbols aren't the same. The elements don't appear in the cipher, and the astrological symbols aren't on the Volvel. Wait, of course, every astrological sign corresponds to one of the 4 elements. Libra and Gemini are air, Scorpio is water, and so on. That's it! When the cipher indicates an astrological sign, I just need to correspond it to the appropriate element on the wheel. Simple. Okay, so... fire is gonna be this guy. And... this one. No. We need... okay, we're... those ones. I see. Okay. Nice. Okay. See how we're doing this, chat? Just for clarification. But yeah, these Volvels could be used for this kind of stuff, like cipher or something. Ciphers were a big thing in manuscript writing, actually. If people wanted to keep a letter a secret, like, they could write these ciphers, and someone on the other end would have the answers to the cipher, like us right now. I actually did some deciphering in grad school because of stuff like this. So this is that, which is Earth. And this one is water. Fire. Hager, something. Air. Because then we have another one of the W's. Earth. Still are selected on Earth, so it will be that one. Gerhard, as in the late brother Gerhard? Yes, it can't be a coincidence. Hi, Gerhard. Hi, Gerhard. Brother Gerhard died sometime last year. How does this connect to him? Oh, hic acet jacet Gerhard. Here lies Gerhard. I would have used Gerhardus personally, but I like that's a classic like Latinist thing. I would have used this instead, but like you can kind of argue. Gerhard's grave. I wonder if it has something to do with the Baron's murder. I would ask the abbot for permission to exhume the grave. I should ask the abbot as soon as possible. Okay. Something up with Gerhard. We need to go to the garden, I think. That's where the abbot is. We're doing the occult stuff, which is very fun. Hic Jacet. H-I. I love... They use, like, acronyms. Not acronyms. What are they called? Oh, brain. Anagrams for stuff. A lot. Like, anything that can cut it short. Acronyms and things like that. There we go. Will show you things like Hic Jacet, or in Heos Christi, in Jesus Christ, would be like IHC, like right up next to each other, for example. And that you find that kind of stuff a lot in manuscripts. It actually makes manuscripts hard to read sometimes because you don't realize you're looking at a shorthand. Andreas. I trust you are abiding by my command to leave Piero and the rest of the monastics in peace. Father Gunnar is in a difficult position. He hasn't been at the abbot long, and he's young. The other monks don't respect him. A friend of the Prince Bishop murdered on the roof of his abbey. It doesn't look good. If I represent a threat to the abbot's authority, he would expel me. He could expel me from the abbey. I don't think the abbot would expel me, but the abbot could make my life very difficult for my arrest for my time at Carousel. No, I've been pursuing other leads, as you should be. I'm going to be honest, clearly you do not understand the grave nature of this situation. Moreover, I do not appreciate your implication that I've done nothing as I await the arrival of the Archdeacon. It must become just because you do not see people act does not mean the actions do not exist, Andreas. There's more at stake here than you understand, Andreas. Given that I'm not the Lord and don't have perfect understanding of all things, of course that's the case. That may be, but I can't in good conscience let an innocent man face death while a murderer runs loose. What is at stake here exactly? Which is why I've come to you with a request. And? I have reason to believe that there is something hidden in Brother Gerhard's grave, and I'd like to dig it up. Frank is Garneau's assistant. Suggested Frank might have killed Lorenz, might anger the abbot if the two are close. The brothers chose Garneau over Frank because they didn't find Frank trustworthy. Garneau might not either. I could keep Frank's name out of it entirely, but then my reasoning would be rather vague. I have reason to believe there's something hidden in Brother Gerhard's grave. What does that have to do with the death of Baron Rothvogel? I suspect the weapon used to murder the Baron may be buried there. Brother Rothvogel was stabbed. We know the murder weapon used to kill him. Brother Piero was found holding it. The Baron's stab wound was self-inflicted. He was killed by a blow to the head. How do you know this? I recall telling you to stay off Abbey grounds after the body was discovered. It is evident to everyone who gives Baron Rothvogel's body more than a cursory reason. Florian let me launch his investigation against the abbot's wishes. It would be ungrateful of me to reveal his disobedience to the abbot. But what we learned might help convince the abbot that Piero couldn't have killed Lorenz. You're suggesting I didn't give the murder of Baron Rothvogel my due attention? You seem to think I don't care who killed the Baron or whether Piero is the one who did it. I do. But I have a role to play here, and I can't be seen to undermine the authority of the Archdeacon in stepping outside of it. Do you take me for a fool? I will not let you examine Brother Gerhard's body on a hunch. What does it matter? He's nothing more than bones now. I'm sure he won't mind. Fuck! If he was a Brother Abbey, and he should be left in peace, just as I would like to be. Leave now, and do not pester me about this again. Oh, no. I should have lied to him. That's ridiculous. I will talk to Brother Frank. There's no way, right? Like, I've been denied. Brother Frank might have some illumination. Like, I don't want to accuse him of killing anyone, right? But who else do I talk to? Well, I gotta talk to the other folk, but alright, let's pursue some more leads. Oh, I can't believe you wouldn't let me examine the body. I mean, I know why, but that's such bullshit. I'm angry, chat. And but like, I will say, from a religious standpoint in the Middle Ages, I shouldn't be looking at his body. I know bodies are getting a little more regular, like, normalized to look at, but yeah, I don't know about that, chat. I don't quite know. Doesn't mean I can't be ticked about it. I don't know who Smokey is, but... Oh, he's a charcoal burner. Oh, Master Mahler? Yes? We met once before, I think. You were drawing something by the waterfall. I'm Smokey. Well, Adam, but people call me Smokey. You're the charcoal burner. Yes, I have to stay out here in the forest near the kiln. Is there anything I can do for you? No, just being friendly. Oh, of course. Good to see you. Until next time, Master Mahler. Till then. Oxlaw. Oh, hello. Hello, you're not a local, are you? No, I'm staying in Tassing only briefly. Is Smokey a friend of yours? No, I mean, I didn't know him before coming to Tassing, but he's let me stay with him. So yeah, I suppose he is. People don't much like Romani. Oh, he's a Romani. He's a, traveler. Most folk despise anything that's different. I like sitting on the edge of town. The Lord shaped us each with our own purpose and gifts. How can I disdain his creation? An attitude I hope more would share. I haven't seen you too often. You live here. I'm only visiting Tassin as well. My name is Andreas Mahler. Oh, you're the artist staying up at the Abbey. It's nice to meet you. Most folk in Tassin don't come down here to talk. Oh, right, I'm Václav, a traveling tinker. I travel from place to place, sharpen knives, and small things that need mending, that sort of thing. What brought you to Tassin, Václav? Well, I actually came to visit Kirsaw's library. I had hoped for one of the monks to read them to me, but the abbot wouldn't let me in. It's a great shame that Kirsaw hides his books away from the town. Everyone should have access to knowledge. We are alike in that regard, Master Mahler. What were you looking for? Well, I explained I was looking for a text about the elements. If they're primordial, as Aristotle says, then God didn't create them. They exist with him since the dawn of time. That's a fascinating idea. But Genesis clearly says the world... Václav, that's heresy! I've heard plenty of priests preach this teaching, Master Mahler. Maybe, but that doesn't make it sound doctrine. Martin Luther's teachings have changed what many consider doctrine. Why not consider other ideas beyond tradition? Is that not how all progress is made? Church doesn't take... Oh, I'm not gonna say that. Be careful, but... You may be onto something. I do not expect such open dialogue with you, Master Mahler. Few men with your stature would entertain such ideas with someone like me. Anyway, I should get back to work. Until later, Václav. I had to be honest with the abbot. That's fucking bullshit that he was mad about that. I guess I should have... I need to talk to the widow. Is that this way? No? I thought... Fuck me. Where is it? And me, where am I? Meadow. Burner. Hello, Master Mahler. I'm sorry to cause you trouble, but... Have you seen Martin recently? He wasn't feeling well, so I let him sleep until prime, monastic hour during the first hour of daylight, one of the little hours of prayer. But when I came to check on him, he was gone. I saw him Thursday morning. He ran through the meadow while I was on my way to the Abbey at Prima. But he said he was sick. And what was he doing in the meadow? He hardly ever goes out there. It always makes him sneeze. He seemed to be running from the Abbey. Why do you ask? He has a history of making poor decisions, like stealing. Baron Rothvogel's manservant believes Martin may have stolen some of the Lord's rings. The Lord have mercy. That must be where he's gone, to sell them. Oh, Martin, how could you? Do you know where he's likely to have gone? The last time he ran off, it was to Innsbruck. But I don't know. I don't know. He could be anywhere. What if he is attacked on the road? Sure, he'll be alright, Cat. I pray to God that you're right. I'm sorry. This is not your trouble. Thank you for speaking to me. Was there something else? I don't want to impose, but if it wouldn't be too much trouble, please let me know if you see Martin. I'm so worried for him. Of course, Cat. Thank you, Master Mahler. Be well. I would wish you a good day, Andreas, but I fear that would be a lie. Has something happened? Martin's gone missing. Cat is beside herself. Lord God, Martin, you couldn't have... Do you think Martin could have killed the Baron? No, no, there is a storm cloud over Martin, but it rains only on him. He would never hurt someone. I can't imagine it. But he has stolen from people. 2 rings, some golden, for example, taken from the Baron's room before his murder. My god, he couldn't possibly have been so stupid. Did you see him take the rings? How do you know this? Baron's manservant told me. And he saw Martin take the rings? The golden? Would he swear before the Lord he saw him? I also saw Martin near the... He was acting weird. You saw him standing near the guest house, and that makes him guilty. I'm beginning to wonder if you are determined to think badly of Martin. You want him to be your scapegoat. Believe what you will. I see that I can't change your mind. I can do nothing but trust in God and my husband. Good day to you. Very well. Until later, Brigitte. I didn't really mean to cause problems. Hey, Molly. You see my son? Saw him running. That fucking rat. Oh my god. That layabout was asleep when I went into the fields. He told me his mother was sick. He say anything to you? Like where he was going? He told me to eat shit, actually. God damn it! How many times have I told him? Urgh. Must be his mother's influence. He sure as shit didn't learn that behavior from me. If you see him again, will you tell Kat? She's driving me crazy about it. I'll tell Kat. I'll let Kat know if I run into him. Good. Until later, Mahler. Until then. Alright, where is the widow? I need to talk to the widow. Wood carvings. Oh, Ottilia's the pagan one. Okay. Well, if it isn't the late Baron's new best friend. Nice to see you too, Ottilia. Ha! Sarcasm. How original. What do you want? You must be bothering me for something. I wanted to ask you some questions about Lorenz Rothvogel's murder. Not the first time Persta answered my call. You want to know what I think? I'm glad he's dead. I hope whoever killed him gets the abbot next. Maybe burns that entire abbey to the ground. And that's all I have to say about it. What did the Baron do to earn your ire? What did I just tell you, Boy, I don't have anything else to say on the matter. The life of an innocent man is at stake. One of the elderly brothers. Can't you spare me a few minutes? You think I care about what happens to some old monk? Pah, idiot. Kill them all, see if I care. And every agent of the church should die. Is it something I can help you with? No! Well, maybe. Don't suppose those skinny arms of yours can hold more than a paintbrush? I'm not so strong as Otto, but I can lift things and reach high places if that's what you need. Not often someone offers to help out old Ottilia. Fine, you do something for me, maybe it'll jog my memory. But it's going to take a while. Lots of things been building up, things I'm too old to do. You got some place to be? I have no other plans. I'm all yours for the afternoon. Follow me then. Been needing to collect some firewood, but I haven't been able to muster the energy. Let's gather you some sticks then. Humph, no questions. Good. Yes, we're just gathering firewood for Ottilia. Okay, that's chill. Don't leave any branches. We're gonna need everyone to warm these old bones. There are the trees Otto's been felling for the abbot. Oh, we talked about this earlier. We looked at this earlier. Break off that branch there. The big one. I know Ottilia feels she's been wronged by the abbey, but the wood does belong to the abbot. If we're caught stealing it, my investigation into Lorenz's murder could be in jeopardy. If the abbot finds out but if I refuse to help Ottilia, she might not tell me what happened between her and Lorenz, make her hate him so. The way she yelled at him the day he arrived, it must have been serious. But serious enough to kill him. Perhaps I can make her see reason. That's technically poaching, Ottilia. It's wrong. You think the Abbey doesn't steal from us? The people of Tassing, we're here before the Abbey was. This forest is ours. Just because some piece of paper somewhere says this land belongs to the church, we can't use it? The people who care for it? What did the Abbey do to make you hate them so? I know the church has its discontents, but you reserve more rage for them than most. You humph. No one's ever asked to hear my side of things. Well, I'm not in the mood to talk about it, so you'll just have to mind your business. Leave the branch. We've got enough wood. Yes! Gosh! Alright, Ottilia, tell me the damn truth. I can't use all these sticks. They're too big. You need to break them down for me. Sure, break the sticks. Got it. I need the right side a certain length, so break them and forget the leftover scrap. Where should I break them? I'll know when I see it. I'll get snapping, boy. It's too big. You're not listening at all. I need these smaller so they'll fit in my hearth, Andreas. Okay. This one is too small and frail, just like you, Mahler. Fine. That one should do nicely. Fine. Maybe you're more useful than you let on. Now come help me back at the house. Of course, lead on. Humph. I don't mind helping Ottilia. I have some mementos from Ranig here. They've gone crooked, and I can't reach. Could you hang them for me, Andreas? Easy enough. And please be careful with my pictures. Some are very fragile. I would hate to lose them to your carelessness. Okay. Hang these papers on the table. I can't reach. There you go. That looks alright. Thank you for hanging those. Just one thing. Remove the cross. Are you sure about that? Don't you gainsay me, boy. What Ottilia is asking of me is sacrilegious. She could be forced to face a church inquisitor if someone found out. I might as well, simply for aiding her. Worn old cross, and it graced the home she shared with her husband. If I destroy it, she might regret it later. That would not speak well to my character, or Ottilia's, when the Archdeacon comes to hear the case against Piero. I won't be able to help Piero if my reputation is poor. But if I anger her, I might miss out on information about Lorenz's death. Perhaps I could convince her to put it somewhere out of sight, so it won't torment her. That might be enough. What do you plan to do with the cross? Destroy it, of course. The church never did anything for me and took nearly all I had. Why should I be made to venerate it? God is more than the church. If you deny the cross, you deny Christ. What did the church take from you? What does it matter to you? Just take the thing down, like I asked. Perhaps I should just move the cross to where you can't see it. If church... It would not be good for you. Good. I showed special kindness to her and used orator. Okay, we're good. Would your husband have wanted you to destroy the cross? It blessed the home you shared together. My Rennig. He made it, do you know? It always reminds me of him, for better or worse. Perhaps you could move it somewhere out of view. That would be alright. Assuming she didn't mean for me to hang this note. Remember your husband, the pain he carried like Job, the bread bird flies. Matins, chapter. Where did this note come from, Ottilia? No idea. I found it on the table the night before Rothvogel died. I can barely read it. The writing's too fancy. Keep it if you want. It means nothing to me. Interesting. I've gotten one last thing for two to do if you're willing. A legal document. I need you to read it. The words are too small for my old eyes, and my reading's not so good. I'm not an expert, but I'll do my best. Good enough for me. Let's see here. It says, oh, due to the recent death of Rannig Kemper, his lack of heirs to inherit, their inability to pay fees on the land, your property is forfeit to the church. Sorry, Ottilia. Ah! That devil, that monster, this is all the fault of Lorenz Rathvogel. If he were alive, I'd kill him myself. May he boil in hell for all eternity. I think it's time you told me what happened with the Baron. Rannig, my husband. He caught that Rothvogel devil riding through our property and told him, rightly, to leave. The Baron beat my Rannig for him. Beat him so savagely that he took a cane to walk. Even his breathing pained him. Never could breathe so long as he lived, which wasn't long at all. Good God. That Baron was the worst kind of man, careless and cruel. He knew he could beat my Rannig and suffer no consequences, so he did. We are not even so low as animals to him. We were furniture. And I knew after Rannig died, the church would try to take what little I had left. This document only confirms it. All because of Lorenz Rathvogel. You know, that's a pretty compelling reason for you to have... You said it yourself, you'd do it if you could. Who's to say you haven't already? Finally, some honesty from you. This was the real purpose of your visit all along. I'm an old woman, Andreas. Even walking on from my bed to the door pains me. How could I kill a man in his prime? Not that it matters. I'm sure I'll take the blame for it anyway. Just like I'm blamed for every runny nose and the horseshoe and thrown horseshoe around here. People in town can't wait for me to die, and the Abbey vultures hate me for my contempt at them. None of it matters. I don't care what happens to me anymore. Thanks for your help, boy. You're the only one who's come calling since my Rannig passed, do you know? Now, get out. I need to lie down. Of course. I was glad to help. I was glad to help, milady. I should find someone to eat with. Who shall I eat? Ooh, indeed. Oh, you know what? They very specifically, the Gertners asked me to eat with them, so... Let's go eat with the Gertners because they asked, you know? You know, chat? What's going on here? Woslav, Andreas, Christ, there you are. Mind your language, brother. I've no time for delicacies, damn you! It's the Archdeacon. He's come early, with an entire retinue in tow. He's questioning everyone who knew the Baron and Brother Piero. I've already told him the little I know. He expects to speak with you tomorrow at Nones. He requested you specifically. Did he say why? It's no secret you've been poking about the town and the Abbey, sticking your nose in the rot. I hope your prying has borne fruit, or Piero's neck will meet the sword. I've done my best with the time I've had. If only I had a couple more days. Whatever happens, Piero knows you've been working hard on his behalf, and he's grateful for it. Only, Andreas. What is it? It's just, you know as well as I do, the Baron was not a good man. I'm not saying he deserved what he got, just you think hard of what you tell the Archdeacon and who you tell him about. You understand? You don't need to worry. I found nothing that implicates you. You didn't do it, did you? It's not me I'm worried about. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shout. You don't deserve that. All I'm saying is, in your searching, you heard anything. If in your searching you heard anything about a certain sister, I'd ask you to keep it to yourself. I'll do what I can to protect. That's all I would ask of you. I should return to Curacao. The abbot will be having a fit right about now. Be well, Andreas. I pray for Piero's deliverance tonight. You should as well. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. The Archdeacon's almost here, chat. Whew. Clara. Hello, Andres. If you don't have separate plans, would you care to join us? I'd love to, Clara. Thank you. Wonderful. Yes, bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts for which you're about to receive from your bounty. And we pray you keep the soul of my dear Christine gone these 6 years. She is missed at this table by her husband and children, but we take comfort that she will die with you in paradise. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Do we know who is Big George the father? We don't know what color her hair is, but he's got orange hair. Oh, okay, never mind. I saw that wretch of a miller this morning. The bastard had the gall to raise his hand to me in greeting. I should have spat at his feet. Dad, I don't know who we're going to pay the Abbey's taxes, how we're going to pay the Abbey's taxes if he raises the milling fee. Maybe you can work out an arrangement that benefits you both. No use talking to that man, not with the bad blood between us. I could try to speak with him. He's friendly with me. Absolutely not. And don't you ever speak to him again. Ever. I'm sorry, Dad. I won't. I promise. You're going to give yourself chest pains again if you keep going on like that. Oh, Peter's got... It's not that chest that pains me, boy. Christ, but my back hurts. How are we going to get those fields planted in time? I've been picking up the slack, haven't I? We'll get all right. We'll be all right. Is farm work so hard on the body? Lord, Christ, don't get him started. You're damned right it's hard. Up with the sun, no matter the weather. Out there in the musk and the elements, working my hands to goddamn splinters. Watch your heart, son. You want to leave Clara a widow? Oh, no. So Clara is the widow. Let's have a thing of bread, and then we'll have some pottage. Why don't you go see Agnes Steiner and about a balm for your back? I don't want goddamn women's medicine. Oh god, he's a misogynist too. Dad, we have a guest. If Agnes's medicine is good enough for me and Clara, I don't see why it can't help you too. Agnes once gave me a tincture for an upset stomach. That was quite helpful. If it's Agnes you've got a problem with, Dad, why don't you go see Dr. Stoltz instead? Stoltz is even worse. Charge you as much as the miller with all the kindness of the horsemen of the plague. The pain will pass. I'll push through though, just as I always have. Yeah, the 4 horsemen were kind of a big thing because like everybody was big into the apocalypse, especially we're getting into this apocalyptic thinking time period, which is why a lot of like trying to understand the church's actions versus Protestantism and Lutheranism and Calvinism, where that's coming from, is a fear of what happens in the next life. Florian? Florian, yes, it was on the tip of my tongue. Since when are you so fond of the Abbey, Peter? Florian might live at the Abbey, but he's a soldier still. Oh, only one of them worth talking to now that Father Matthias has passed. When was that, eh? A few months ago? Oh, you knew Father Matthias? More like Matthias made it his business to know me. Ha! Matthias, you know, he was impressed by my age. Thought I must have been blessed by the Lord. That my pottage? Wanted to know all about my life and the things I'd seen. Good man for a monk, not like the abbot. Only cares about his coffers, Garno does. That's the Abbey for you. You see Otto up there much, Andreas? The abbot keeps him busy. I had dinners with him in Endress recently. He was working on some repairs to the abbot's house. Did anyone at the Abbey have a hello for me? George. What, Clara? I'm only curious. No, George. No one had a hello for you. Were you expecting one? It's only that I talk to one of the sisters there sometimes, Zdena, and I was wondering if she, you know... Oh, Zdena, huh? Forget it. It was stupid anyway. We don't often get meals with you, Andreas. Pestering folks around town with questions like you do. You want to know anything about the town? You ever have any encounters with Baron Rothvogel? You think he talks to us? Ha! We may as well be furniture to the likes of him. Just like what the widow said. Perhaps he doesn't talk to you, but he is known to have a wandering eye. What? If he's made advances on either of you? Lorenz is known for pursuing peasant women? The young women in town know it's best to avoid the Baron Rothvogel when he comes to visit. Whether married to a man or married to God, Christ, neither gives him much pause. Married to Christ? You mean he goes after the nuns? He's a handsome man, rich and powerful. None of us are really beyond his reach. There was that young woman who came to live with Lucky and Agnes, wasn't there? That's not our business, George. Fucking nobles. Fucking nobles. The Peters. I love the Peters. All this shouting is making Ursula restless. Let's finish our meal in peace. Aww. Sorry, Ursula. Oh. Okay. I've got something very important to do because I'm running out of time. What are you doing sneaking about, Andreas? I gotta go to the library, son. I also have to go to the old... Ooh, I got 2 things I gotta do. Fuck. Running out of time. The deacon comes tomorrow, homies. Hello, pup. We saw that ghost around the Roman ruins, right? That's fine. Nothing else here, huh? This seems suspicious. I love how much there is to learn about the world through all this. Alright, so what we're gonna do is sneak into the library where we were explicitly told not to go. Brother Matthew! Oh shit, Matthew's the Abbey's circator. If he sees me, he'll kick me out, circuiter. Monk responsible for making rounds. I was certain everyone is where they are supposed to be knowing the places. I have to keep out of sight until he's passed. Good thing he can't see well. Take a while to find the records I need. I'll lose some time tomorrow morning unless I turn back now. This? Oh, on the Herbs of Wales. Writer is Cadphellus of Salopian. I don't believe I've heard of him. Mugwort, these are very common. You find like bestiaries and herbies of herbs. I'm not familiar with their property, but they sound extraordinary. A beautifully illustrated book, and the author appears to be speaking from his own personal experiences. Yeah, a lot of these books do have stuff like that. Oh boy. What? Am I not allowed to search it? Because I didn't do it earlier? No way. No way! Fuck. Are you serious? Oh. Oh my god, I got scared. What do we have here? In the beginning... Oh, the beginning of this book. A bifolium about the Mysteria Astra. I've read a number of treatises on astronomy, but I've never heard of this one. It seems rudimentary, explaining the connections between astrological signs and the elements, and their basic relationship to alchemy. Ah! That could also help you with solving the, Volvel. Cuts off there. The next page is about something else entirely. Sister Luminata might be trying to reconstruct the larger text. Those 2 pages were interesting enough, I suppose, but quite basic. Wait, that's the connection between the astrological Frank cipher and the elemental symbols on the Volvel. We already got this. This must be the text he referenced to create his cipher. Interesting. That would have been much simpler to solve if I'd seen this first. Yeah, it would have been, wouldn't it? This is most curious. Historia de Labyrinthio Librorum. Account of the Labyrinth of Books. I believe a Bologna professor told me about this, a tale about such a place in Piedmont. Somewhat hard to believe, to be honest. That old man was quite a storyteller, I must admit. This looks promising. The familiars of the Sisters of Kersau Abbey. The histories, basically. Mother Catherine was first to enter the records. It looks like almost 50 years ago. Sister Hildegard from the Goldrich family in Ravensburg, quite wealthy. It looks like she became a prioress after Mother Catherine. Sister Cecilia Aldheit? Oh, this is Mother Cecilia's record. Wait, she's from the Welser family? They're one of the most powerful families in Augsburg. It looks like her family donates a lot of money to Kersau every year. Interesting. More than the family sees in 10. Sister Gertrude from Hof, the herbalist, yes. Her father is an apothecary. That explains it. Matilda Oblat, yes, the nun cellarer. She came from Kempten. Merchant family. They donated pigments to use in the scriptorium. Quite thoughtful. I'll have to thank them if I ever get the chance. Oh, this should be interesting. Sister Luminata. Named Angeline from the Capocci family in Perugia. It looks like they have some connection to Kersau through an old abbot, Rudolf. Her family donates money to the abbey every year as well. And then, the note says Sister Matilda left the abbey for several months. Why would she go to a hermitage? It seems strange that she's the only entry with such a note. The date's 3 years ago. This was just before Father Matthias died. Which means it was around the time Baron Rothvogel visited. This has to be it. Matilda must be the nun the Baron harmed on his last visit. I should talk to Mother Cecilia again, and maybe Sister Matilda as well. I'm not gonna have time. Sophie from Birgitz. Her family is poor. They donated flour. Lisbeth Oblate. She's from Utrecht. Looks like she had an eventful life before coming here. Married with a child. Both died. Oh. Her merchant family has some connection to Kersau through the Kaufmanns of Rothenburg ob der Tauber. Whoops. I should have clicked on that. Sister Margaret. Oh, blind girl who assists Gertrude. She went blind because of failed surgery on her cataracts. Wealthy peasant family. They donated wool in a pasture in Krimmel. Sister Zdenna. This should be good. They donate a fortune to the abbey. No wonders Mother Cecilia and the abbey let her behave as she does. Talk to Cecilia or Oh. Oh, they're lovers. Oh, oh, hello, Humdiklump. How are you doing? I hope I didn't miss this earlier. I'm very happy for these brothers. There's a lot of gay monks that, you know. Hund is fine. Sounds good. How are you doing, Hund? It could go badly. We're both in an awkward position. I'll have to choose my words carefully. I'll talk to them. I talk to them. I'm happy for them, frankly. Oh well, hello. Good evening. What? What are you doing here? Andreas, what is the meaning of this? Did you follow us in here? No, I was out for I don't care what you showed up to. I didn't mean to alarm you. I came looking for clues about who killed... I know Brother Piero didn't do it. Someone else from the Abbey or the town has to be responsible. You know, Piero is a good man and a pious monk. I can't let him die. Oh, good. I can't believe Brother Piero could murder... I'm sorry, it's just so shocking. I'll pray that God will deliver mercy to Piero and bring this true culprit to light. I'm glad you are doing what you can to help him. It's difficult for the rest of us to act, given the abbot's opinion. Andreas, how does skulking in the library help you prove Brother Piero's innocence? I'm not sure. Do you know why Sister Matilda was sent to a hermitage? I do recall a period where she was absent, yes. One day, she was just gone. I don't know why. I don't normally concern myself with Mother Cecilia's... Yeah, oh my gosh. No one else is streaming it, too. I'm doing all right. I'm basically I have a day off, so we're like playing this game, getting a nice little recording of it, and because I'm a medievalist, as it says in the thing, I'm a grad degree in medieval studies, and I did some manuscript studies, so I'm big into that kind of stuff, and kind of talking about it as we play here. I have reason to go to town on behalf of the Abbey. Just as they have more contact with Sister Illuminata than I, Brother Wolslav has more contact with Sister Matilda. In any event, I wish you good fortune with proving Brother Piero's innocence. I'll trust you keep all this to yourself. So long as you do the same. All of what? Fine. We should go. Good night, Andreas. I'm happy for them. Rehearsal? What instrument are you, like, or acting, I suppose. I didn't think about that. Rehearsal for what, I guess is what I'm asking. I'm gonna get no sleep. It's gonna be daytime already. Yeah, actually Hildegard gets mentioned quite a bit in this game. Oh, I'm having a dream. Okay. Choir conductor and school teacher. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, Hildegard actually has been mentioned a lot in this game, for a variety of reasons. Andreas, where are you coming from? Why? Oh, are you coming home? Dad, I'll be home soon. Good. But finish that masterpiece, too. It's time for you to get on with your career. Yes, of course. We're learning a little bit about Andreas here, too. Yeah, I play the drums, actually. Trap kit, mostly, so, No, of course not. Good. Yeah, so I play the trap kit, but I've never really played in, like, an orchestra or anything. I mostly play pop music. I know, Dad. We'll see you when you get back. Sure, alright. I know this is a dream, but he's having stress dreams about his dad. Sabine? Oh, it's you. I only have the picture of you, the one my brother Daniel made. I really don't have any idea what you look like. Are you really that pretty? Is this your imagination or Daniel's portrait? I suppose it's both. Which do you think is the greatest liar? His portrait or your imagination? Probably the portrait. He's a he's a paid flatterer. My imagination's quite rich, you know. You would think that. Well, naturally. I'll see you soon, Andreas. For real, I mean. I suppose that's true. Until then. Okay. Nice, nice. Yeah, we used to do stuff like that in my, like, way back in high school. I did stuff like that. We played old albums. Like we'd play I say old albums. We'd even do the 90s, like you said. We do like Nirvana, and we did like what else did we do? Gosh, we did Linda Ronstadt, and we did like Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette. And then we did like a MTV show and stuff like that. Yeah. That, you know, that's how you have fun, you know. Apologies, my mind has been preoccupied by a tragedy at Kirsau Abbey. What manner of tragedy? The murder of a nobleman, a close friend of the Prince Bishop of Freezing. My friend, Brother Piero, is the abbot's only suspect. I know that he could not have done it. How do you know? Examine your assumptions, my son. In addition to having no motive in violence, not being part of his character, he's not physically capable of the act. He is of limited strength and has a palsy in his hand that makes holding a paintbrush difficult. It's inconceivable that you have the strength and resolve to kill the Baron with a blow to the head. A whole lot of inconceivable shit happens on the hell on earth in Andreas. It's true. I just don't believe he could have done it. There has to be a better explanation. So, what do you intend to do about it? When I'm brought before the Archdeacon, I'll tell him what I know about other people who had motives to kill the Baron. I have to believe he'll see there are much more likely suspects than Piero. Why have you taken this task upon yourself? I have to save Brother Piero's life. Your love for and devotion to him speak well of your character. A man who is humble before his elders honors also his gods. Of course you'd say that, old man. He is right, though. If Andreas doesn't help him, no one will. Exactly. I understand why the brothers and sisters cannot act against the abbot, but I must do something. Why does that shit-for-brains abbot care about the death of a useless fart like Lorenz Rothvogel, anyway? Well, I can't disagree with this. I didn't ask you to agree with me. If you can't think for yourself, you know better than them, asshole! In any case, Andreas' ability to prevent Piero's death depends on the judgment of the Archdeacon. The music in this is very good, actually, because they only occasionally play music, but when they do, it's like based on like traditional manuscript music. Wise or foolish, corrupt or just, the Archdeacon will be the first and possibly final arbiter of Piero's guilt. There's only a little bit of polyphony in this piece, but polyphony was only starting to come around because we're in the beginning of the 16th century, right? So we're having like a little bit of polyphonic music starting to hit the quote-unquote mainstream. Sacred and secular. Andreas must win the Archdeacon to his side using the tools favored by men such as him. Reason? Ha! When's the last time you met a man who was truly ruled by reason? Authority? Despite your talent, you're merely an artist. He has been invested with power by the Prince Bishop of Freezing. You have no authority with him. Honesty? You must be honest in all things, Andreas, but many are not willing to accept the truth. The cost of honesty can be high. Wisdom. Wisdom can be shared, but the audience may not comprehend it. If reason, wisdom, and authority and honesty cannot triumph, what am I left with? Hope. Eyes. Truth. Above all, faith in providence. Well, What do you plan to tell the Archdeacon, Andreas? There were other people in Kersal and Tessin who had motives to kill the Baron. The widow Kemperin despised Lorenz for maiming her late husband. I don't think she did it. Maimed how? Baron beat him savagely following an argument about trespassing on the Kemper's farm. His injuries were so severe that they never truly healed, and he needed a cane to walk. He died less than a year ago. Ottilia is certain it's because of the wounds he received that day. Why did the two quarrel? My understanding is that it was simply an argument about trespass that got out of hand. And now I suppose that she will lose her home. My apologies. His home. For what reason should an aged widow not live out her remaining days in peace? She should, but she won't. She didn't squeeze out any little Kempers for old Reinig, so away the house goes. Yes, because women must fight to own property. We exist on the sufferance of men. I like there's a good feminism slant in this book, or in this game. I love listening to that kind of music. Harmony is pleasantly fresh. So exactly. I mean, like, I like listening to vocal, like monotone type stuff because you get like chants and things like that. Or like I really like Tuvan throat singing because of that. And it's just sort of like, it's kind of calming. It's like, yeah, fresh to listen to is a good way to say it. Yeah. It's true and terrible. It's easy to understand Ottilia's anger. Good. Perhaps if moral man understood our anger, the laws would change. Indeed. The good man does not sit idly by while injustice flourishes around it. What the hell is half-trained artists with half a university degree going to do against the Holy Roman Empire, idiots? Yeah, Reformation and Maximilian, yeah. You have established a motive for that widow, Andreas, but there's another matter that requires inquiry. While women and men are equal in most natures, women are weaker in strength. How could a woman of Ottilia's age overpower a healthy man like the Baron? I wondered at that myself. Have you found anything that could have used to kill the Baron? No, not yet. If you wish to convince the Archdeacon that an old woman killed the Baron, you'll need more than just a motive. Are there any others you suspect? I found no other suspects. You have brought a worthy mystery before this court, Andreas. I pray to God we have granted you the insight you need to face the coming challenge. Thank you, Your Majesty. No, because I couldn't dig the grave? Yeah, Grovian, yeah. Yeah. You will be summoned to the Archdeacon to tell him what you know, but you need not tell him everything. I think I understand. There is a place for a noble lie. This is not one of them. Why? The Baron is dead. All the people with the motive to kill him suffered, either directly or indirectly, from his wickedness. Simply mentioning a name to the Archdeacon may endanger them, whether they had anything to do with the murder or not. Right? No point. Oh my god. I protest any attempt at deception, but you may ultimately follow your own conscience, Andreas. Little time remains before you must stand for it. Use it wisely. I have faith in Providence. Let me dig up the man's grave! I need to finish this adventure. I'm so mad that I did not get everything I wanted. I'm really angry about that, actually. Oh, I should find someone to eat with. Under. I know who I want to eat with. Old Otto. I haven't actually talked to Old Otto. Shit. Alright, let's learn what we can from Lucky before. Do you have a moment to talk? Make it quick. I don't see why not. Agnes would be glad to have you. Is now good? That would be great. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we're about to receive from your bounty. And we pray you keep safe the souls of the two innocents who rest at your side. They are dearly missed. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. 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 You're looking tired, Agnes. Did Elsa keep you up too late? Ah, I don't mind it. She needs the support. I'm happy to give it. Someone has to look after the women of this town, and Werner hardly cares to. Ah, the doctor sucks. Elsa the miller's wife. He's terrible. Haven't you met him? A stuck-up ass who thinks he knows everything just because he went to a fancy university. No offense meant to you, of course, Andreas. You've never lorded your education over me. Ha! Else deserves better than his clammy attentions. The women of Tassin are lucky to have you as their midwife, Agnes. God bless you for saying so, Andreas. I try to do right by the women here, as I hope they would do right by me. It's the Christian thing to do. Even if the woman in question is Elsa Miller. It's Elsa the miller's wife. Married to Lenhart Miller, yes, I'm surprised you haven't met her yet. Did something happen to her? She lost a child a few weeks back. She was overjoyed when she finally quickened, but her bleeding returned soon after. It has been difficult for her, but she has been through it before. She'll make it through again. Swabian ravioli. Delicious. I like the different food from different people. She's like a midwife. He's like a carpenter, so they actually make good money here in town. She does dote on him, though, Lenhart. Why is that? The miller is not a kind man, not to the peasants and not to his wife. Spreading rumors is not Christian behavior, Agnes. It's hardly a secret. The man has power in this town, and he makes certain we all know it. Take it as a caution, Andreas. Don't get on the miller's bad side. Noted. Best thing we can do for Elsa is care for her as a neighbor, like Christ tells us to. She isn't the only one in Tassin who struggles in her marriage. Even my Brigitta has her troubles. Clara mentioned Brigitta and Martin were having difficulties. We should never have agreed to their marriage. She deserves better than Martin Bauer. She loves him, Lucky, and she had to marry sometime. What could we do? Found a man who isn't such a useless shit. At least we got Wolf out of it. I'll make sure he grows up solid. He'll become a great stonemason. Oh, stonemasons. Just like his grandpa. Aww. I'll have to trout. Now, why didn't you tell Andreas about your work at the Abbey? You said you found something strange in the building? Strange how? Ah, that. I was repairing a cracked wall down in the crypt. The Abbey used to be a Roman fort, so it's no spring hen. I went up to relief for the Virgin and it slid open. Yeah, I've done that. I discovered the same thing. A fascinating architectural detail, to be sure. Abbey's full of secrets, make no mistake. Anyway, stuck my head up through the trapdoor and one of the nuns screamed. You didn't tell me that part. It felt bad for scaring them. He's sweet. I like Lucky. You must have frightened Sister Illuminata half to death. Ah, I probably should have knocked first. Never know, you'll find behind a closed door. Speaking of work, I should get back to it. Still lots to fix after that storm. It was lovely having you, Andreas. Take care, Agnes. Thank you for your hospitality. See you around the Abbey, I expect. Okay, people respect me. The Archdeacon desperately needs to listen to me. I felt like I didn't have enough time to do my research. Maybe he'll let me. Maybe he'll respect me enough, right? I just feel like I'm not done. Fuck's sake. Fuck's sake. Jacob. Please state your name for our records. Andreas Mahler, artist, recently of Venice. Really? What brought you all the way up to Upper Bavaria? I heard the Abbey had some wonderful books. When I learned they did need an artist, I decided to stay a while. Very well, thank you. Arnold, please write that down. I think we're ready to begin. Of course, Your Reverence. Now then, Master Mahler, what was your relation to Lorenz, the Baron Rothvogel? I only knew him for a day, but we were on friendly terms. Do you feel you had a sense of him as a person? Yes, Your Reverence. How would you characterize him? Overbearing, used to getting... A fine man, overbearing, used to getting what he wants. Do you think someone would kill him for that? Someone, perhaps. I will need more than perhaps. Someone had to have a reason. If not that, something else. Otherwise, it makes my presence here somewhat difficult to explain. Baron Rothvogel was murdered here, in this very room. Someone did it. Father Garneau believes it was one of his monks, Brother Piero. I've met with Brother Piero and questioned him at length. While it seems unlikely that a man at his age and temperament could murder the Baron, he was discovered in flagrant delicto. Technically, he discovered the corpus delicti, but he was not caught in flagrant delicto. He found the body of the crime, but the principal must be, yeah. I'm going to say that because I am a classicist after all. Master Mahler, I'm not interested in your clarifications, technical or otherwise, on the matters of Latin or law. If you wish to advocate on behalf of Brother Piero, I suggest shutting your mouth until I ask you a question. Jesus. There are reasons to resent the Baron, the loss of his work, the insistence on discussing the writings of the troublemaker from Wittenberg. And as for his age and infirmity, I myself have read of many cases which a man of modest strength succumbs to the temptations of the devil. Once seized by a devilish fever, the poor sinner gains an infernal power that allows him to inflict grievous wounds, sometimes fatal. What I am saying is that in spite of the curious circumstances, Brother Piero is the most plausible perpetrator of this most vile act. I understand that you are on friendly terms with Brother Piero. You also interacted with the Baron, both in the town and the Abbey. Did you witness anything that suggests that someone else could have murdered Baron Rothvogel? I got so close to that. That is an extraordinary claim, Andreas. The abbot speaks highly of the prior, and he oversees both you and your brother Piero's work, does he not? Yes, Your Reverence. An extraordinary claim requires extraordinary evidence for me to take seriously. Why should I take the word of an artist over a respected officer of the Abbey? I can provide evidence of... Please do so. On that day the Baron arrived, I secretly observed Prior Ferenc in the scriptorium. Was this an intentionally covert observation? No, I was working alone and had dropped something on the floor. Prior did not know I was there. Very well. Continue. He wrote a note, a cipher, in a book. It was associated with a vowel that he used to encode something in it. Yes. What had he encoded? I am not certain, but it is very suspicious. What? I was certain. The fucking grave. Ah, that's so annoying, dude. I can't think of anyone. I don't think the other ones could possibly have wanted to do it. Very well. Are you aware of anything else that might shed light? Brother Florian has about the note he found in the Baron's clothing. Who is the innocent? It's not clear to me either, Your Reverence. Whoever wrote it was a talented scribe. I understand Kirsau has two, the elderly brother Idoc and the younger brother Guy. To be frank, Your Reverence, neither man has the skill to write in this way. There's something else about it, too. The style is just different. It's unlike Idoc and Guy's writing, unlike mine. It's gotta be Ferenc. Something about the way the first and second strokes meet on the A and G. This is all good stuff. This is good manuscript stuff. Yes, well, whatever the particulars, it seems to remain a mystery that stands apart from the commission of the murderer. Unfortunately, there is more to tell. I found another note. The note had been written in the same hand, on the same type of parchment, to the widow Kemperin. That is deeply troubling, but again, beyond the bounds of my investigation. In any case, I thank you for bringing it to my attention. Of course, Your Reverence. Until next time. Until then. Andreas, I didn't think you were coming to this. Well, here I am. It was the prior of the Abbey, if you can believe it. Did you ever talk with him in the Abbey, Andreas? Get Ferenc executed! Oh my god, that Archdeacon read all of the charges and found him guilty. I worked with him every day. He was obsessed with... I didn't know he had murdered. Oh, they want you to think they're so pious. Uh-oh. He buried something in that grave, chat. Oh no. What if he just wanted to bring his dude back to life? I don't know. How was I supposed to do that fast enough? Auto. This game's supposed to make you not be sure. He tried to run. Interesting. I have to see what I did. I did this. I caused this. Oh, no. It wasn't a clean one either. Oh, of course, they gotta make me feel shitty. My lord, judge, have I executed well? You have executed as judgment and law have required. For that I thank God and my master who has taught me such art. I know this was your doing, Andreas. It has nothing to do with me. The Archdeacon wouldn't have reached his verdict without your testimony. I read it. I didn't say anything that wasn't true. You're no longer welcome at Kirsal, Andreas Mahler. I will send your final payments to the Gertners. May you have a long and successful career in Nuremberg, and may you never travel this way again. Damn. Oh. Out of the... I'm afraid so, Brother Piero. This farewell will have to be brief. Father Gnome made it clear I'm no longer a welcome at Kirsal. I pray that time will soften Father Abbott's heart. I hope he eventually realizes you were only trying to help me. This is a sad parting, but inevitable. I had hoped you would stay a bit longer. But the world needs you more than Kirsal does. You have grown beyond this old abbey and become a master in your own right. I will miss you, my son. I love Piero. We'll keep you out of trouble, I'm gone. I will pray that this last trouble I will see in my old age, and I have God and you to thank me for getting out of it. Come, your masterpiece is complete. May I see it one last time before you go? Please, I value your assessment. The opinion of one old monk matters little. All the same, I'm excited to see it finished at last. Oh, it is a masterpiece, truly worthy of the word. And it appears you took my advice to heart. What advice was that? You put yourself in the work! Oh my god! Not just to interpret another artist's work, but to transform it into something true. This shows the world as it is, as you have seen it, even if it is not what we may want to see. Though it is not my place to say so, I am proud of you, Andreas. Nice. What's this? A scrap of parchment? Do not return here. A warning. Huh. Whose hand is it? Doesn't look like Brother Idox or Brother Geese. Brother Flory and I found a similar note in the Baron's clothing. And another while I was investigating. They must have been written by someone who knew the darkest secrets of the town and this abbey. They tugged at those secrets to kill the Baron, like someone pulling at threads that had been buried in the past. A frightening thought, but who would do such a thing? God knows. He does, and I hope his love can still the wickedness in the heart of whoever wrote this. Do not trouble yourself overly about it. Your future lies outside of these walls. I hope that you will have time to visit me once or twice in your travels before the Lord takes me. I hope so too, Brother Piero. I'll come as often as I can, assuming Father Gurneau doesn't forbid it. We must have faith that better days lie ahead for all of us. God bless you, Andreas Mahler. Thank you for your friendship. Until next time. Oh! No! You alright, Master Andreas? What? Are you alright, Master Andreas? Do I have an apprentice? Yes, thank you. I was just remembering him. Trying to, anyway. It doesn't come easily anymore. Oh, would you like me to leave you alone? No, no, Caspar, it's not necessary. There's nothing to be done about it now. It's too late. Like so many things. Andreas Mahler, I never expected to see your face here again. Have you been in Nuremberg for these last 7 years? No, Nuremberg for a few years, but I received some lucrative commissions abroad. Oh! Okay. Andreas knows some Polish, bits of Czech and Hungarian, and Prague, knows some English, could heard a cultural touch on France. Oh, it's gotta be Aragon. Andreas knows some Spanish and bits of Arabic and can reference cultural touchstones from Barcelona and Valencia. That's close to what I've studied too. It's like, he's a Mediterranean man, Andreas. I spent a few years in Aragon. They're quite fond of the Netherlandish painters, and my style was, well, close enough. Are they still conducting those ghastly inquisitions there? Across the peninsula, yes, though less so in Aragon. Why? I find them cruel. Jews were ejected from Dijon as well, an ugly part of our history. I'm surprised you care at all. Well, I'm not about to leap into a fire to save anyone, but I don't think it's right what's happened to them. In spite of your extensive travels and success, you're still not welcome at Kiersau. The abbot hasn't forgotten what happened. 7 years isn't all that long. I just wanted to pay my respects to an old friend. Surely you'd understand that. I understand why Father Abbot expelled you from the abbey. Why were you expecting a hero's welcome? What were you expecting? A hero's welcome? The Landhaus. Before moving on. The Golden Hand, I'll tell him, but I can't imagine he'll care. Why is he so rude? God bless you. Now, be off. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. What have I started? That monk seems unhappy to see you, Master Andreas. Why is the abbot so angry with you? Toward the end of my stay in Tassing, there was a murder in Kiersau Abbey, a nobleman. Father Gurneau panicked and accused my friend, Brother Piero, of committing the crime. I helped convince the investigating archdeacon that another monk was responsible, Brother Prior Ferenc. He was executed for the crime. You got someone killed? It was that... yes. I had no idea you were involved in something so exciting. Why didn't you mention it before? Well, I suppose it must have been a hard situation about if the abbot is still mad at you. I had to make some difficult choices. Maybe they're the wrong ones. I have to live with that. I've had to live with that. Why did you come here if you're not welcome? I wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero. And to be honest, I'm not looking forward to returning to Nuremberg. This commission, it's an obscene vanity piece under the pretext of a religious scene. My patrons just want to celebrate themselves and their wealth. I dread each new commission more than the last. Every step I take toward home is agonizing. But, Master, you're famous and rich. Your work is wonderful. When I saw your altarpiece in Nuremberg, I begged my father to help me become your apprentice. I don't understand how you could accomplish all that and be unhappy. I know, it must be hard to believe. I was once very much like you. All that I've accomplished is my work, yes. Now I'm left hollow. I thought I wanted to be like my father, like my brothers. I thought that was my dream. I know, it must be hard to believe. I was once very much like you. Once, I wanted this life so much that it consumed my every waking thought. I don't know if I've changed or if what I wanted was never real. Maybe I've been a fool this whole time. I want life as an artist to be better for you, Caspar. Learn from my mistakes, alright? Alright, yes, Master Andreas. I shouldn't be burdening you with such dark thoughts, Caspar. Let's visit my old friend Klaus. It's been too long. As you like, Master Andreas. I would like to stop the game and save it. There we go. I am going to call it there. Thank you all for being here. This is going to be the end of the video, and I think the end of the stream for now. Yeah, the end of the stream for now. We might do some stuff later, but I'll talk to you all on another time. If you're here watching on YouTube, like and subscribe, and I will see you